That video was 2021 bull run lore.
Are you Googling lore?
What was that?
Oh,
it was a
my
guy.
God, I got one.
You got one?
You got lore?
You guys already know it, though.
got lore.
Does the whole world know it?
No.
Okay, well then it sounds like a good share.
All right, I just
Wow.
wanted to surprise you guys.
Guys got some lore.
I got something new for you.
It's my claim to fame. It's a good one. I think it's going to shock people.
I think I'm going to try to figure this out before you say it.
I love this.
know it.
You're
You
famous
know
for a lot of things.
I
though.
love
it.
this.
You know it.
Nick, it still says, welcome to our live show.
Fixing it. Give it a sec.
You know you can fix that before we go live, right?
No.
Did we share the link in the Discord?
Could you give it a sec?
Did we
I'm gonna-
share a link?
I'm going to tweet it
Because
or exit.
Matt Metzler said where pod link.
Where pod link? Yeah, we got to figure that out. It's a large hole in our pod production now.
Rocket keeps refreshing YouTube.
Okay. Why this failing liquor chain is the hottest stock on the market?
We got logged
Wow.
out
Sexy.
of Twitter.
You got logged out?
Our computer did.
Oh, no.
We need Twitter.
No, we don't.
I think we're good today.
That's just a myth.
Do we need Twitter when we don't
Twitter
know
is like
what we're going to talk about?
all of our links that we show.
What do you want to show today? Is it part of your lore?
I think so.
My my mic doesn't
Show this.
doesn't stretch.
What's
Oh, wow,
happening?
This is bad.
What's happening?
The cord doesn't reach. I can't.
Dude, if you pull too tight, the whole thing could come down.
Yeah, yeah. That's a load bearing cord.
Yeah, that's
I think I
a load bearing.
hacked it.
All right. Just it's fine. Just don't touch it.
Your inner strength and getting back.
Are the mics on? I think I heard audio.
Looks like it.
It's a good start.
Oh.
I'm kind of dark. I feel like I'm always dark.
Ooh, wait. Why do
Why am I in the dock?
why do
I'm in
people have all these in the chat? They have like
Yo, what are these crowns?
crowns.
Yeah, I want a crown.
Is that the order they get into the chat?
No. Wait.
That would
It says
be-
XP
That would be
at
awesome.
the top. It's like a new
Wait.
YouTube update.
Wait. What is XPs?
I don't know.
This is-
Question mark. Tap the question mark.
This is not great
A
content
place
for
for
me, guys.
fans to stand out in the community. Top 3 get special badges in live chat. How do you get on the leaderboard?
Top fans.
Send live chat messages. Send
Oh,
super
nice.
chats and super stickers. Oh, okay. So if you join the live and you chat,
Huh.
so Carby's number 1.
Carby is number one.
Yeah, he's always been number 1 in my heart.
Oh,
No
it
doubt.
looks like if Feech just gets 26 more XP points, he rockets to number 1.
Who do you think doesn't deserve a crown?
Oh, all deserving.
I would never say such a thing. I can't believe Mets doesn't have a crown.
He does.
Shocking.
He's he's number 2.
Number 3.
Doesn't say it on mine.
It's real-time updating.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
oh
75
yeah, he's got it.
XPs.
Wow.
Oh, I think this is like...
Okay, spam the chat.
This is up-only chat
Wait,
technology.
this is exciting.
I heard if you
we're
like
gonna lose Armand for
if,
the rest of the pod.
I heard if you like the video, you get more XP points. So
If they could do this in the form of one of those games where you like bet on ponies, and they just had like a live
love
horse
those
race.
games.
Of
the horse
everybody's-
races?
Yeah.
No, but I played like the casino version where you put some money in and it's like a little robotic horse.
Yeah, you do some action and it translates to like
Wait,
horses racing.
I just jumped to number 2 already. I'm winning.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Spam.
Not for you.
Engagement off the charts.
It'd be sick if it like carried over.
Oh,
Episodes.
all
I
time.
think it will.
All
I think
time
it
will.
leaderboard.
I think so.
It might.
I want to go bet on some ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing in Del Mar right now, right?
Is it opening?
Did
Soon.
we miss opening day or is
No,
it-
no. We're doing a team outing at the horse track.
Can I come?
Yeah, you can come.
Team outing.
for opening day?
Not opening day. I want to avoid the opening day.
Oh no, I want to go opening day.
Oh, you got to dress up.
I only want to go opening
Well,
day.
we got like Thoroughbred Club tickets, and we have to wear a full suit
Oh damn.
to just join on a regular day.
So you are going to dress up.
Yes, but not on opening day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone
no.
want to go on opening day? Because I want to do that.
Our whole team just wears workout clothes to the office, so half of them are just opting out of the team event because they don't want to wear a jacket.
That is so modern.
Yeah.
Such a modern problem.
Gen Zers and millennials.
Yeah.
All right, boys, what's going on?
How are you?
So much.
What are you guys sipping on?
I got the spritzes firing again.
I was informed via text message that Steven would be in good spirits today because the numbers go up.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Very happy. I'm a happy man.
All right.
I remember like a while ago when I think Eric was like, how much of how you feel right now, Steven, do you think is just due to number?
Yeah,
Like in the
just
market.
tied to portfolio number.
What was the number I gave?
You didn't give
100?
it. I don't know if you did respond with a number, but
I must have.
yeah.
I mean, it's very high.
because we had this
It's
really
like it's over 80
well,
for
we
sure.
had this really deep dialogue, right? Like trying to decompose like how you're feeling and what was going on, and then at the very end, I think Eric or Nick, maybe it was you, Nick. I think it might have been one of you. Was just like, what's the correlation? And clearly, it's high.
Yeah, like you know the meme with the puzzle piece where it's just like sometimes you just need one more piece. And
$1 billion.
It's $1 billion. Yeah. No, that's me for
I
sure.
evaluate my like emotional stability by how much it doesn't impact me because like we have live charts, how many sales and revenues coming in. But man, when it's low, I'm not in a good mood.
Big refresher.
Yeah, big refresher over here.
Today's been great because I felt poor all weekend. You know.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Why? No.
Okay. So my I went to Aspen with my college buddies, and I'm like the poor kid in my group of friends,
Oh, I
and it's just
see.
like it's like they're planning the trip, and they invited me, and they were like, one of them was like, just so you know, Steven, it's gonna be a bit of a splurge trip. And I'm just like, ugh.
Is this when one of your friends asked, "Should I long the WNBA?"
Yeah, it didn't
I
sound.
don't know why he has
doesn't
that
sound like that, though.
accent, but I'd
Doesn't
imagine.
sound like that. Yeah, no, all my friends are worth like $100 million, so it's kind of like everybody's
Did
like,
you at least chip in gas money on the?
everybody's like checking
be
with me
very
before we
hard.
do anything. It's like, are you okay? Are you okay if we do this dinner? I'm like,
You're like, hold on, let me check.
Yeah, that would be.
Let me pull up TradingView and I'll let you know.
oh no. I bet on Wimbledon with one of them. Lost.
You bet on Alcaraz?
But he agreed to get paid in Pengu and Fartcoin.
Okay.
And like
Wait,
I
don't
told him
tell me
about
Alcaraz
he didn't know
lost.
Fartcoin existed, but I told him about it, and he was like immediately just all in. He spent like half the day trying to figure out how to buy it. Like he loved it so much.
You didn't help him. You just watched him struggle.
So
for
his
4 hours.
Coinbase account doesn't let him buy it. I
selling
think
all
because
my
he's in New
crypto.
York, which is weird. But like he couldn't buy it, and he's like, I don't want to use on chain.
Okay.
No desire to do that.
Nobody wants.
So I was like,
It's
all right,
awful.
I'll just pay you
Nobody.
out in this bet if you win on Fartcoin. And now he's just texting the Fartcoin chart every
Wait,
2
is
seconds.
Fartcoin still not on like central exchanges?
It's on Coinbase, but I don't think it's on Robinhood.
It is on Coinbase.
Yes, but apparently
I thought that
not
would
to New
cause a
York
bigger
residents
pump.
or something.
Wow.
Like his Fartcoin says view only.
Fartcoin seems like an obvious buy right now.
It's up 9% today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it an obvious buy?
I agree.
Buffett.
I agree with Eric. It is now an obvious
Saw
buy.
Warren Buffett tweet about
Fundamentals.
it.
Yeah. it's got a nice little breakout brewing. Nice little fart flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we go into it, let's get a quick shout out to our sponsor. Go to zbiotics.com/alfalfa. Check the pre-alcohol probiotic. It's the genetically engineered probiotic that takes care of that nasty toxin Eric's drinking.
Acetaldehyde.
Acetaldehyde. That's the toxin that makes you feel like shit in the morning after drinking. It's not the dehydration. It's not the tiredness, although that could probably contribute. But anyway, the pre-alcohol ZBiotics is the one that's going to take care of that for you, so you can work out in the morning. You can check the charts in the morning like Steven does and be clear-headed and get all the things you need to get done while still having some beverages the night before. So go to zbiotics.com/alfalfa. Use the code alfalfa at checkout to get 15% off. And if it doesn't work for you, they'll give you your money back. So thanks, ZBiotics, for sponsoring the pod.
Thanks,
I
ZBiotics.
gave the boys some ZBiotics this weekend.
It's
They,
some-
they woke up Sunday and they immediately went online and
Wait, did
bought
you
some.
grab one? I forgot to grab one
Today?
from my stash.
Yes, I grabbed from
Did I
your,
have
your
some?
stash. You did.
Okay.
There's 2 left.
I forgot to take one.
You better go.
Go
now.
get
Yeah,
one.
just do it.
Just do it
Should
now.
go now. Well, I did want to say I just opened my Coinbase account for the first time in a long time. Didn't realize I had money in here. It's
Okay.
quite a bit.
That's fun.
But also, I'm like, why is it in Coinbase? But also, you can buy Fartcoin.
No,
That's
I
cool.
said you can buy it, but I don't think you can buy it in New York.
I heard you. I just wanted to confirm for myself.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if I could
Okay.
actually
You didn't
buy it.
believe me when I said it?
No, I
that
just
hurts.
didn't know that. I thought it would cause like more of a pump when it listed on Coinbase. I just missed the news. I didn't even know it
It
was.
had a nice pump.
Okay.
A solid pump.
Do you,
It was in the
Was it
spring.
recent?
do you guys
Springtime.
use any tool to
Springtime.
track like your number of all the things you own, like in the different accounts, or do you just go in each account and be like, okay,
Right
that's
up here.
No,
I'm
I use,
totally
here.
lost. I got shit everywhere.
I
I'm
use
lost.
one of those like not fuck. I don't even log into these things anymore. I wanna
D-Bank
say
or something.
yeah, it's
right.
not D-Bank, it's the other one.
I use
Good alpha.
no, but there's like one for your stocks, everything. Like I found one called Kubera, starts with a K,
Yeah,
and
I
I've been
heard of
using it for the past 2 weeks.
It has on chain.
Yeah, you can hook an address in there, but that part's a little weird. Like
Mm.
you have to use it on the same browser you use your MetaMask or your Rabby wallet.
That's whack.
And so I avoided that part mainly because I took most of my shit off chain anyway.
How hard is it to track your stocks? It's like,
Oh, it's easy. It just takes an hour to connect all your different
well, I
accounts.
mean, like, I have a lot of accounts, and
Yeah.
I don't even need this thing. Like,
but one dashboard, you see it all.
yeah, I guess.
See it
but
all.
How hard is it to? I don't know.
Yeah.
You got a lot. You got like Fidelity, Interactive Broker, Schwab.
All of them.
I mean, I got that too. That's,
Yeah.
Zapper.
But
I
then
like
like the real
Zapper.
estate, the
Zapper's
crypto, like
Oh, you got those things.
you
in
get
there.
different retirement accounts, and you just want to see what's the number at.
I see.
Can I quit? Can I stop?
So it combines
go to the beach.
crypto and on chain and traditional finance.
And like if you got like these real estate deals or like anything, it's made to like for more complex
So you like, and
portfolios.
you can like enter your own NAV or something on those
Yeah.
assets.
like I didn't like connect the wallet that owns my CryptoPunk. I just typed it in there and
I see.
yeah.
And it works well.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's great, and it's got like one of those.
I remember seeing an ad for that a while ago.
Yeah, it seems good. And what it lets you do is lets you create scenarios. So you could be like, you pick each asset, pick its annual return when it starts. You could be like, okay, I think it's going to go up 30% this year, and then terminal value 7%, and it'll show you like your 1 month, your 3 month, your 1 year, your 5 year, your 10 year, like every decade
so
of your
does this
life.
Solve like, are you still going to create that like future net worth calculator?
Oh
for
yeah, I
us?
talked about it a little bit last pod. I just did in Excel, and it works.
Nice.
But yeah, it helps out a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, if anyone is interested in that, check it out. I don't think it's that expensive. They have like a relatively cheap version, and then they have like a much more expensive one where like let's say you were actual family office and you had entities under entities under entities and multiple members of the family that you need to keep track of.
Have you ever looked at? I think stocks are the best at like just presenting this roll up data, particularly just for stocks only. But have you ever looked on some of your platforms for like risk adjusted returns? Like on Schwab, you can do it. You can just like look at your snapshot, and then you can go to like risk metrics, and
Oh,
you
you
can
can.
see on a portfolio level, like
It just puts all the shit in aggressive.
it tells you like here's like 6 of our model portfolios from conservative to aggressive, and then it puts yours. Have you ever looked at that?
Interesting.
Degen.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Mine's got to be like -0.2.
It's like it gives you like a sharp ratio,
Oh, okay.
but it's interesting.
Fidelity does that in my SEP IRA. It lets, kind of. Gives benchmark returns and benchmark risk.
I think my interactive broker account is up like 60% in the last 2 weeks,
Yep.
which is probably a sign that
Yeah, what are we
Mine-
doing here?
it's
What are you
not
doing here,
full of
boys? All of us, we're talking about net worth calculators.
maybe
and-
some options and levered ETFs in there.
yeah.
I'm guessing that holds YHC, SBET.
I've had some like other interesting, like really cool plays though. It's like, do you know MP?
No.
And they make
No.
like rare earth magnets basically. They got like a government contract last week. Stock's up like 80% since where I bought it.
Nice.
UUUU.
Oh, that's the uranium thing.
Uranium.
Oh my god, that thing is cooking. See, I'm like with long options on that thing. It's up like 300% since I got it,
Nice.
and in the spot. Yeah,
Are these all things that were in Magic Lines?
these were magic lines plays. Yes, I think a lot of people didn't take them because they're not crypto.
Right.
Which is like, come on, guys, you gotta. I know it sounds boring buying magnets, but magnets, fuck yeah.
Did you ever try to do that, Nick, in personal capital that became Empower? Like, how does Kubera compare? Sounds like the same.
How does this Kubera compare? Yeah, but it was like really cumbersome to add in my real estate, my limited partner real estate. You can add in a home, and it's like cool. what's your principal? What's your interest rate? What's your, and I'm like, no, it's not that.
Like,
Like,
let
I
me just give you a value.
I just want to give you value, and I want to show you, I want to tell you the income that I'm getting from it, and like you forecast it out.
Okay.
And yeah, that's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough to do in those.
So personal capital empowered doesn't really do the forecasting. Doesn't
Yeah.
do it well. So that's one big.
You create baseline scenarios, lost decade scenario, you know, like
Ugh.
up only scenario.
How dare you?
Lost decade. We don't like that.
No, we don't.
Yo, Hook'em's back.
What's up, Hookem?
Hook'em?
I was actually thinking of Hook'em on the way here. I was like wondering where he was.
Sounds hot.
Where's he been?
Where has he been?
What's he doing?
Where's Rectum?
And there he is.
Speaking of.
I know. Rectum liked a tweet I made today, so he's out there somewhere.
Miss you guys.
Somewhere in the
Wild.
ether. I know.
Miss you guys.
Flexing his quads.
Flexing his quads, looking at Albanian women. God bless him.
God bless.
Hope he comes
Doing more
back.
doing more than looking.
Um,
Are you trying to tease something up?
I'm I'm trying to figure out what we decided to talk about. Oh yeah,
You could throw some stuff out there. See how it feels.
you
feel
weren't
like-
here, Armand, last week, so welcome back. But
Missed you
last
guys.
week we didn't get to celebrate. You had a little tweet storm about your company last week. It's pretty epic. I think most people know the company 11 Labs. If you're like somewhat familiar of the AI space, it's probably like one of the more successful companies in terms of the product and also probably the valuation too, I'd imagine. But you got to show off your client that you've been working on, haven't been able to tell us too much about. So you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really just proud of our team. You know, it's been a lot of cooking and a lot of like time in the dungeon and a lot of glass chewing, and it's nice to kind of peek your head out. And you know, as a founder, I've been so internally focused, and to even begin to like shift externally, tell a bit of a story, talk about like what we've been doing has been nice, because I enjoy that stuff a lot. Like the marketing side of things is so fun for me, but we've done no marketing, and thankfully we haven't had to. It's been all product led growth, but yeah, I mean, we have this tech stack that allows us to take an expert and train on their expert knowledge and create an AI digital twin of them. And one of our big marquee customers is Tony Robbins, who since became an advisor and a shareholder in the company, has been very hands-on and very helpful. And it's not just him, right? It's this whole organization that is so hands-on and so helpful. And we launched this app. The app was extremely successful. It's got tens of thousands of users and downloads and all this stuff. So it's been incredible for them. It's been incredible for us. It's led to a lot of exposure, led to a lot of new customers. But it was really nice to, we have this tech stack that we built, where we process and ingest all of the content. And, a component of that is obviously the voice. And streaming it in real time is non-trivial. It's actually quite challenging. But the clone of an individual's voice, 11 Labs is the market leader at, voice API and for consumer as well, but a big portion of that company generates their revenue off their API. And so they've got this great voice cloning technology, and there's many leaders out there. There's Play AI that was recently actually acquired by Meta. I don't know if you guys saw that. So number 2 in the market was acquired, and then there's other players as well, but 11 Labs is by far the biggest. I think they just raised. I think they're like a $3 billion valuation already. Wow. And they've got employees. Yeah, it's been a rocket ship for them. And so for us, the best voice that we could create ended up being 11 Labs. We've never really exposed our back end, but we decided that if we were going to tell the story of what we've done with Tony Robbins AI, like what better way than to tell it through like a technology-focused company press release, because it's so AI-focused and the exposure they have is very AI-focused. So, we obviously talked to Tony, we talked to 11 Labs, we put this press release together. Here, I'll just show it on the show it on the screen. It's just this really great piece, just goes into kind of, what's been happening. Tony Robbins launches real-time AI coaching in his own voice with Steno AI and 11 Labs. Talks about our story, how we came together. There's a really cool demo video.
Now let's focus on finding your inner strength.
That is like, this lady Renee, who's really awesome, doing a demo with the product. Tony gave an incredible quote. He said, with Steno AI, I've created an AI twin of myself so anyone, anywhere in the world, in any language, can sit down and have a life-changing conversation with me. This isn't about replacing human connection. It's about multiplying it. It's about scaling transformation. So the strategies that have changed hundreds of millions of lives can now reach billions. This isn't just AI, it's a breakthrough delivery system, changing the world one transformation at a time. And so, people like Tony, first of all, incredible to have something like that, but there's so many people like Tony across various industries that have their knowledge accessible, but in books, in podcasts, in courses, at their live events, to be able to take all of that, personalize it to the end user, make it accessible in their language, has been profound for the market. So it's cool to finally come out and tell that story. And
Dude, that's epic, man.
Thank
It's
you,
been amazing.
man.
It's been amazing watching you.
You can
from the
just
sidelines.
you can
Cheers,
just do
bud.
things, guys.
Yeah.
You can just
But
do things.
I thought what was wild was that, like you said, you got like a flood of all different types of inbound after this. And I've done PR for different companies, like PR for the companies I've owned, hired PR firms, seen what they do. But you did it in like a very specific way, and it ended up having one of the bigger impacts I think I've seen PR have at all. So is there anything to learn from it? Like anything you teach me about
that's really
it?
the core topic. It's like, I wanted to like have this brief moment to reflect even for myself. Marketing is God, man. It's like the impact it can have when executed correctly for a company is incredible. That said, I wouldn't change anything about our approach. It was about a product first deployment experience to really create a world-class experience for end users. We didn't just like launch this and then come out immediately with press. It's been in the market for a while. We launched, over a year ago. And so a lot of, fine tuning in a non-technical sense, but a lot of iterations and improvements to get it to a place where the product could stand on its own, speak for itself, receive positive reviews. We have like 1,500 reviews just for Tony's app in the App Store, 4.9 rating, and it's like, okay, now we're in a position where with confidence, and it goes beyond that. It's like, how quickly can we onboard a new customer? How quickly can we build the AI for them? How certain are we that they can actually engage their audience with it and create an impact? And we've gotten to the point where, from a product market fit perspective, we've improved that cycle so much that we can do it in days. And so then I was like, okay, now it's time to pour some gasoline on this. How do we do it? And so there was a lot of thought that went into like the right type of press release with the right type of partner, making sure the customer was involved, gave a quote, had a say, was aligned with it to be able to help create additional exposure. And so when you stack all of that together and you do it correctly, I learned the impact is even beyond what I could imagine. Because I've done just like you. You pay some journalists to get you some, blurbs in Fortune or in Inc. magazine or whatever. And it's just like, okay, I got a logo, and you have the little logos on your site featured in, or like you get a backlink.
That's what I want to mention. Like, that is like traditional PR, right? You hire a PR firm, you're like, go give me logos. Go say I was in the Wall Street Journal or Fortune or Forbes, or I was on that entrepreneur top 30 and 30, whatever. That's what they do.
So I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's a
That's
thing.
what PR is, I guess.
That's
I mean,
PR.
that's like probably like low to mid-level PR. Like if you ask any PR firm, they'll say we can do that for you. But what's happened over time is that these publishers themselves have just become like affiliates to promote other products.
Yeah.
So the editors used to be like, "Oh, cool, you gave me a good story. Thank you. I'm gonna write about it because you made my job easier." Now they're like, "Where's the link so I get credit if someone signs up for Steno or whatever?" Like,
That's the part of their business model now.
Yeah.
Is to be an affiliate.
they're a dying breed, dude. They need to
Yeah,
make
it's
money
dying.
any way you can. So anyway, it was cool
This
that
was
you
a huge part of why I picked this company.
Yeah, and it's like not only did it have distribution, but it has the right audience in there, right? That audience that would see 11 Labs' announcement is like right up your alley, like from
exactly.
customers or
All
investors or
thought
whoever.
leaders, creators, people like Tony, they're cloning their voices, and so
It's cool.
It was a strong like fit confluence of all the right things, and when you hit that right, it's legitimacy, it's the PR itself, it's exposure to the customers, it's obviously all the things that traditionally come with PR. But I think the main thing for us was we were so silent for so long that people were just excited, like, okay, sick. Like, this is what you guys are doing. You're a market leader. Like, you're really out there doing this for a lot of big thought leaders now. And I think that flooded with, inquiries of all kinds, from investors to customers to thought leaders to people wanting to work for us, all over the place.
It's great. It's smart you waited to when you're like, you're ready to like, let the flywheel. Yeah, you're ready to scale.
But it takes that obsessive, like, it's not just a press release though, right? It's like I sat with them and we talked about like, okay, like beyond the press release, what are you going to do? Okay, we're going to post on our social channels. What are you going to post? Okay, we're going to do, what do you think? It was very collaborative. We're going to do a video. We're going to demonstrate the product, and then people seeing the product. I mean, people go like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
the demo's legit.
The demo is great. And then there's a bunch of other demos out there that are more user generated. But yeah, like being able to see it, being able to experience it, I think made it very real for people. So they posted, then Tony posted, then we've done more collaboration posts with Tony himself on his Instagram, then Tony posted on LinkedIn, and you stack all these things together. It's
cool we get to talk about it now because we've been working on it for a while and
Yeah,
like, we've been
dude.
waiting to be
I
like,
feel
hey,
like
look what he's
we've been,
doing. Look
like,
what he's doing.
containing our excitement.
Yeah.
So with this one, you built the app for Tony. This was like the Steno's AI app for Tony, and people love it. 4.9.
Yeah, Tony's not demanding at all, so he's a real
dude.
smooth going guy.
4.9
customer.
stars, right? And so many reviews. People are paying $100 per month for
$100.
Is there like a free trial on it?
Yeah, there's a $1 trial.
I mean, everybody in the chat should go just try it.
Yeah.
Try this
totally.
app, and for
Not to pay $100, but just to see what you did.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So for like new people that are coming in and inquiring and stuff, like based on this 11 Labs, are they looking for the same solution? Like they want their own AI built on their personality in an app format, and that's what you're probably going to deliver?
Exactly. I mean, we deliver for the most part like web apps, but for big customers that want an iOS native, React native, iOS and Android app, we do that too. So we don't do that for everybody, but we do that for like Margarita Pasos and a bunch of other thought leaders that are like big enough and then desiring enough and willing to spend to have a mobile app. But for everybody else, it's a web app. Like if you go to steno.ai, it'll be a web app like what's on our website, and then they can either monetize it, directly like what Tony did, or a lot of the times it's a companion. It's an add-on to an existing product or service to engage their audience, to improve retention, to increase lifetime value.
Yeah, I feel like this companion idea is novel and going to just explode.
I mean, did you see what's been happening with Grok?
Oh, they released a
They
companion.
released a companion called Annie.
Oh, really?
It
It's
was like a sexy girl.
Oh my god, it's like a waifu
Yeah,
in
she's-
lingerie,
she's-
and
yeah.
like people are freaking out over it. They're like,
I saw that
both good
Elon
and bad.
posted that Annie was explaining theoretical physics or something like that.
This is
Really got him, Randy.
Dude, this ties into the topic we're going to talk about a few weeks ago, but kind of ran out of time for, right? Because we were going to talk about the Did we talk about the good Alexander Doom loop?
No,
We didn't even get to it.
no, we didn't. We will.
Yeah, because he put out this like 40-minute video on this, but I think a TLDR of it was that like AI is basically only good for, or going to mostly be used for, sort of like dopamine like roller coaster sort of like doom loops, where people are ultimately just going to use AI to get sucked into AI companions or like expensive video game worlds that just sort of just amuse the plebs while like everything else in the world
Burns
kind of
down.
goes off the rails. Yeah. So in the Tony thing fits like right into that, because like I was reading the reviews for this and people are just like, they're freaking out. They're like, this is amazing.
Freaking out in a good way.
In
Yeah.
a good way. Yeah. Because this is mostly what like a lot of people want. They just want to like talk. That's why people go to therapy. They just kind of want to talk to somebody, and like so to be able to like talk to Tony and it just feels and looks like Tony, like that's kind of crazy for people. And then that experience is going to become like the norm in society. Like,
Dude,
very shortly.
the latency is so low, but you can I don't know, it feels fluid when you talk to it, and you can interrupt, but like when you don't interrupt, he responds back quick enough. It's not like you feel like you're talking to like a bot, like you feel like you're talking to
I
like.
mean, fortunately, the technology in general that's available to build upon has improved, but also again, incredible team. I'm super fortunate, like very hardworking, dedicated co-founders and team. But yeah, it's at a point where like you can create a really lifelike experience. like voice, real-time voice in particular, has exponentially improved in the last 6 months. And so, I mean, you know this from some of the stuff you guys are looking at with customer service and support, but when you bring all of that together in a really good user experience, you add in memory, you add in like the ability to just like fluidly change language dynamically. It creates like, and then proactivity and accountability. You could apply that to like, okay, fitness, finance gurus, life and philosophy. I mean, so many different categories that exist.
I mean, like we're on the verge of this. This is going to be like the most addicting experience that's ever been created for humans, right? Like we're probably like 1 or 2 years away, maybe even less than that, from you being able to like pop on an Oculus and just be like right there with like anybody, like any historical, like imagine you just pop this on and it's just like Einstein is sitting across from you and you just like talk to him and he just looks at you and reacts like to everything you're saying and moves. Like that would be
and
like
remembers the like last 300
yeah, has like
conversations
all the context and like you do that with like everybody on earth or who has ever existed, basically. Like how much time would you spend doing that? Like that would be wild. That'd be so cool, but like also obviously it could go awry in certain ways, but like I don't know, it boggles the mind to think about.
It's gonna be part of your lore, my friend.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is gonna be part of your lore.
Yeah. We're doing lore later.
My future
Tease.
lore?
Should we do lore now?
No.
Yeah.
You want to do lore?
No, what? No, this is like an end.
This is
pod
like
thing.
part of his lore.
No, lore has to come at the end. It's
Yeah,
Okay,
we
all right.
can't talk about lore and lean back, and then we're going to talk about liquor, Ethereum treasury companies.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about liquor. And
Yeah,
treasury
let's do it.
companies.
I think the entire Discord today was asking like, can you please talk about these treasury companies, all of them, because everybody in our Discord is getting rich.
That's all I really want to talk about either. So selfishly.
By the way, while Armand was talking, I figured out a thing we can do to make the live stream better.
Okay.
Because we already have the stuff kind of that we're going to talk about. Like I think we could just do like a few titles and then like while we go into the topic, just like copy paste it into the headline.
To juice it.
Yeah, so that when people pop in, they're like, we're not talking about stocks. We're talking about AI. And
Okay.
they get,
All right.
So
Yeah, just give me another
always
job to
match
do.
what we're
Thanks.
talking about.
Oh, before you fully transition,
Yeah.
before you fully transition, Jay and others asking about where's Alfalfa AI app.
Ooh.
I will say, like, I would love to know if the audience wants that. If the Alfalfa fam wants that, let us know because I already did make V1.
Damn, you did that without even telling anybody?
I sent you a voice selection. Remember that was for that.
Oh, yeah.
Got to pick a voice for it. And I think it would be really cool if the app like switched modes. At least this is what I have in mind, to be trained on everything we've ever talked about in this podcast. And then just imagine being able to switch into like Nick mode for,
Nah, fuck
multifamily
that. I
real
want
estate.
ranting, high pitched Steven mode.
Well, yes,
and then
that
just
too.
like he responds to you in like
intense
rants and the
Well, can you make it so that it can have like multiple voices? Because the one that you sent us was like Zanzibar's voice.
Yeah.
But can you make it so that it's like I'm having a conversation with the boys where it's like multiple voices
I mean,
chiming in?
that would be amazing. No,
You
those
gotta
are
pick
4
one.
different endpoints. But yeah, I think the mode could just be that at least it's the knowledge of that person speaking,
Okay.
Even if it is a neutral voice. I was thinking it's like the 5th member of the pod you're talking to, but they represent all 4 of us, So anyway, if people want it, let us know.
I think the people want to like take like a effigy of me and just like make it
do weird
say
things.
dumb shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's like the main
I
use
agree.
case.
Down for that, whatever
Yeah.
the people want. Steve.
Yeah, like that's what I've gathered through context and like the memes and videos people have made. It's just apparently that's like the main use case.
First question for Stephen AI is like, Stephen, should 18-year-old women be?
Oh, God.
It's gonna be great.
The
There's just
Wolf
gonna be
is
these
coming.
random, like 2 years from now, there's gonna be all these clips of me circulating around the internet saying misogynistic things that I never actually
But
said.
you'll get to blame it on AI.
And we won't be able to tell the difference.
All right, so let's get into this one. All right, throw this up on the screen. Robert Leshner, if anyone doesn't know, I think he founded Compound.
Compound. And
He's a
Superstate.
DeFi OG.
OG.
And he says, I bought a controlling stake in ticker symbol YHC, a low market cap liquor company with a somewhat shady history. My plan is to replace the board and help the company explore new strategies. Okay, so did he do this in the open market?
Yeah, he did it in his Interactive Brokers account.
Okay, so
apparently. He
let's
just
tee this
bought-
up a little bit. This was like a $2 million market cap stock. Surprisingly, it was not on the pink sheets. Like,
Surprisingly, yeah.
yeah, it was kind of odd. It's a real company. Like I looked, they had just released a press release 7 days ago saying they made a new like distribution partnership or
Yeah,
something.
they're selling more alcohol.
So
now.
imagine
You
a
should love
group
it.
like in this office of like, I don't know how many people are working there, just doing their thing, working hard. Stock ticks up, weird. Stock ticks up again, and then like you see someone forward you a tweet. It's like, this guy just bought a controlling stake in your company, and you're like, what?
Am I fired?
This is like the ultimate. You can just do things, right? This guy just went in his literal stock account and just bought.
Probably like cost him a couple $1 million.
Yeah. So his average entry is higher than my average entry, which I think is funny because I think he.
Well, he bought a controlling stake.
Yeah.
So,
So you know, touche for that. What's also funny is like I think I literally own 1% of this company right now, which is hilarious.
What percent of the coin version of this do you own?
Yeah, 4. So no, this is like an amazing story. I mean, I think his average cost basis is like 377. He said. Stock
stock's
ripped
now
today.
worth like it did.
Stock ripped 179% today. I think it's like over $10 now.
So now it's worth like $10 million market cap.
Yeah, it's still like basically nothing. And it's like a funny thing going on right now because as soon as like it kind of came to light that he bought a controlling stake, the board tried to like issue all of these shares and like dilute them. Like it sounded like they tried to authorize like $46 million of shares or something when the
Oh, is
market
that
cap was
stock
like
split?
4.6 million. No, they had done a reverse stock split prior because like the price of the company got, the share price got so low, so they reverse stock split it. Presumably to not instantly go to the penny stocks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's been all this drama because like this happened, and then they were like, all right, we're gonna just 10x the amount of shares. But there's like all these little regulations where like you can only kind of issue like X amount in a calendar year. They had already done stuff. Like the TLDRs, it looks like they can only do like 300, 400,000 new shares or so, which would dilute him down to like 43%. But apparently on his end, because of the bylaws of the company, he can just issue some like declarative statement, basically firing the entire board without cause.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
Which would maybe like roll back the actions of the board depending on which of these things sort of hits first. And I saw like before we got on here, somebody found like an update to the shareholders where they posted a notice that they were being sued. The board was being sued, presumably by Leshner because like of the way that they issued these new shares. But I think he's going to win from everything I've looked into. It doesn't seem like they can stop him from completely
Sorry,
taking
I
over
made
the
you all
company.
rich. Like,
I know.
Yeah,
all
I know. That's
filthy
another
fucking
thing.
rich.
They've got filthy rich. They would have taken like a decade to make that much money and valuation.
But this is amazing. Everybody's basically like, oh my God, this is GameStop for Ethereum.
I was thinking that YHC was probably the best performing asset in the investable universe, but then I noticed there was the coin as well, which dramatically outperformed that, right?
That was a meme coin, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I had my first 70x today because I
Congratulations.
found the.
Congratulations.
Well, I
sir.
sold nothing, so I've made $0. But on paper, no. When I saw this yesterday, like when I saw this all go down, I bought a bunch of the stock, and I ended up getting it around like 297 or something. But then I was like immediately like, oh, I wonder if there's a meme coin, because SBET had a meme coin. It still does, and I checked the SBET chart, and initially like Joe Lubin nuked the chart because he was like, this isn't affiliated with us, which like everybody knows, like come on, bro, nuked it. But it was all the way back and like about to. So the SBET meme coin looks like it's about to just go into price discovery.
SBET has a meme
So
coin too.
I'm
It's
like,
about to send.
All right. So I looked this up, and then I saw somebody had made a liquor house meme coin like an hour before, and the market cap was like 30K, and I was like, I looked at it, and it looked like it was like done on one of those fair launch sites, and everything was chill. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just buy this thing. So I got in
Why
like
not?
$40,000-$50,000 market cap, and it went up to 2.1 million market cap today.
Damn.
So at one point I looked into like my wallet, and I was just like, holy shit, because I didn't put that much in, and then I had like 6-figure balance in there. I was like, oh my god.
Juicy.
But I told everybody I wouldn't sell until at least 3 million, so haven't sold any. But I think some people did some solid 10, 20, 30
Yeah,
X's
I
in
got
the
a text
Discord.
about one today. So
So congrats if you took that. I like to think that the YHC meme coin pump is not over. I like to think we're gonna.
So where do you want to go with this YHC, the stock? Because I think there's some interesting threads to pull on. One is the Treasury thing that we can talk about. The other one is just like the idea of buying like a publicly traded company for $1
Should we do
million
one?
and then like just doing whatever
I
you
know.
want
Why
with
don't
it?
we just do this?
Like, I think that, yeah, that could be fun. Like, could Alfalfa just like buy a publicly traded shell corporation and then turn it into something? Because that sounds pretty fun.
and maybe it's helpful to maybe at least hopefully one other person out there is out of the loop like me. But like, I understand this is like I was saying on the call. Like, okay, this is like the new SPAC remix. So can we get like the basics? And
Yeah. Are
then
you? So
dive
you're.
in?
So you're like out of this, out of the loop
I'm out
on
of
this kind
everything.
of, right?
I'm like dad and startup. That's it.
I mean, what people are basically doing is they're sort of buying like failed publicly listed companies. Like a very popular way to do this is like with like a biotech company, like a company that had like one drug and the drug failed. And now there's just like this kind of shell corp, but there's like no value there. But you can effectively like buy up the company often on just the open market.
For cheaper than it would be to go IPO yourself, right?
Yes.
Like, so that's why.
Yes. And then you could sort of just like basically change all the bylaws of the company, put in your own board, do whatever you want to do. And then the play is that like it's basically like the Michael Saylor playbook. You sort of just announce to the market that like, hi, I'm going to do a raise, issue shares, and with this money, we're going to buy some crypto asset. And then the market apparently just rewards you with like an immense pump, which allows you to issue more shares and buy more things, sort of setting forth this like
Just,
crazy
turn
flywheel.
into a MicroStrategy,
It's literally MicroStrategy,
Yeah.
but for
but like
other
for
assets.
every other asset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like people were doing
And they're mostly
MicroStrategy.
all on ETH.
No,
Well,
no,
this
no.
like latest iteration has a lot on ETH. There's probably like 10 or so
ETH is,
that are on
ETH is the hot one right now for sure.
but they have launched a
You
hyper.
found a use case?
There's like the first use case is just to launch a treasury company. But there's like a
that's how
hyper liquid
crypto
treasury. There's a Tron treasury. There's like
Okay.
many others.
Okay.
So what's Leshner going to do?
That's an interesting question of what he's going to do. I mean, YHC is interesting because so Leshner's company Superstate is like I think the purpose of it is to like tokenize assets like stocks and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think there's a whole universe of like interesting stuff he could do, like aside.
RWA type stuff.
Yeah, and he's like an OG DeFi founder. So like really, it's kind of exciting to think about the sort of limitless possibilities of what could happen here. And I like that he's not saying what he's going to do because it just allows the market to just endlessly speculate on it, right? And as long it's like being pre-revenue.
Yeah. Never earn revenue.
No revenue.
Like I hope he never says what he's doing. Like he just like lets everybody just go wild, just drop some little nuggets.
Yeah, and this thing's such low market cap. Even still, after this massive run, it's still such low market cap that it can still 10x probably.
Yeah, it's like what is it, 6 million now, 7 million?
11.4.
Oh
Like-
wow, we pumped. That's right, we pumped pretty hard. But that's nothing. I mean, what's SBET now? Like 2 billion?
Yeah,
I think SBET's like 2 billion. So it's fun to imagine the upside.
2.7.
Now you're not going to like 700x
look at it
because
right
they're
now.
they're going to like
Yeah, that's-
issue new shares if they do something.
So SBET is the largest Ethereum treasury, and that was down. That was down.
Can you go to a 1 month chart maybe?
Yeah, SBET was down at like $9.
That looks
Yay.
better. That's the banana zone right there.
Wait, this is funny.
What's even more fun is you have options on the banana zone.
Wait, it was double where it's at right
Why are we
now.
blurred?
No, it was like triple.
Oh yeah.
It was like 4 times. It was at like 120 or something.
Oh my
Then it went
God.
down to $9.
I like just broke even
Oh
yesterday on
my
it.
god, and it's just doing it again.
I think it's just kind of doing it.
Banana.
Nick, what are you trying to get a focus going or?
Get some
Not
bad
happy.
focus.
Switch it.
Yeah,
Switch it.
We
what's
blurry?
it?
All right, we're back.
We're back. Okay.
Oh, thanks,
Okay.
Nick.
Good. Like there's something hilarious about this, and that like the crypto has just come full circle. That now we're all just like getting hard about coins being wrapped in TradFi wrappers and buying them in our brokerage accounts.
I mean, just to make sure I understand it, like let's say these things never traded at a premium above their net asset value, whatever it is, Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're actually they wouldn't work, right? The only reason they do work, or at least the issuing of shares works, is because it's for some reason at a premium when this kicks off, so that when you're issuing new shares and you're selling new shares to the market, you can actually acquire more of your underlying asset per share. Does
Yeah.
that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
If there was no premium, this thing wouldn't work.
Right, but the premium also makes sense to me. At least, like, there's some premium that's justifiable because they are buying more of the underlying.
Well,
So-
they said they're going to buy more. Like they
Yeah.
said they had $1 billion at the market facility. So they're going to buy more. So you're basically saying, okay, and maybe in 6 days, the net asset value will be 2x. So that's why I don't mind paying a premium now, right?
Yeah, and then I think people can argue what's like a justifiable multiple on that NAV.
Right.
You see a sort of an oscillation with MicroStrategy. You see an oscillation between sort of like mid ones to like mid threes.
It would be fun to kind of understand these treasury companies more about and talk maybe a little more specifically about SBET. Like I would like to hear, because I have like things in the pro column and things in the con column, because like I'm holding a bag. It's done really well. And I think it'd be interesting to talk about to try to understand.
Yeah, let's
them
talk
better.
about like theoretical and also talk about some like near-term actionable, because I know there's a lot of people in the Discord that hold this thing and they're wondering, the fuck do I do with this?
Yeah.
So let's do both.
Okay. One thing, the main thing that comes up for me is the way they're able to issue new shares is they filed for this $1 billion at the market facility, which means they can basically sell shares at the market price. And they're close to that $1 billion. Like, I don't know if they've tapped it fully yet.
$250 million of dry powder still
Left. So you could kind of like forecast out like, okay, by Monday, they will run out and there's no more firepower for them to kind of like keep the flywheel going. It seems like you can spin up another one pretty easily within a few days and say, okay, we got another $1 billion. But if SBET doesn't pre-communicate that don't worry, we're going to reload, I could see it, having an issue. And it looks like there was another stock. What was the one? BTCS?
BTBT.
BTBT. I think one of them said that they got a suspicious call to their broker, and that suspicious call asked how much money is left in the ATM facility, and they're like, nothing. And surprise, surprise, the next day a hedge fund had shorted the stock.
That's pretty good
And
due
it's-
diligence, by the way. I
Yeah.
tip of the cap to the hedge fund.
That person was not unsure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it
Crazy that they would just divulge that information, though.
the broker would.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, like it presents this dynamic where you could see the multiple or the premium collapse if, the kind of flywheel stops moving as fast. So that's the first thing I thought of when being like, well, should I shave some of these profits off? I'm curious if you guys have the same concern or if this is just ride it out.
How much of that is because of what you said and versus like they still have to like issue all these shares?
But this one, I don't think that was the case.
I'm pretty sure they, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Tom Lee's thing still.
No, this
it
is different from Tom Lee's. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many
Which one
of
is
these.
this?
I think
I'll
Nick was
pull it
talking
up.
about BTCS. I was talking about BTBT. So we're already kind of like crossing
yeah,
lines.
it's getting-
And Tom Lee's is BMNR.
Oh my
So
God.
there's so many of these things.
Yeah, I mean, we can see how this is going to go wrong
Yeah.
at some point.
What okay, so I had like an idiot Sherlock Holmes moment where I was kind of like, I get it, Watson. Today, where I said like, I shared this in the options channel of our Discord, where I was like, oh my God, we've been thinking about this kind of all wrong, where like all the focus has been put on the net asset value, like how much ETH they hold and how much that ETH is worth, and then the multiple on the NAV. That's what everyone's thinking about. But like to Nick's point, what I think matters the most is how much dry powder exists to place bids on the underlying, because the flywheel of this whole thing relies upon the underlying going up in price. If the underlying goes up in price, then that means that the company who holds the underlying has more value of their shares. They can sell their shares for cash. They can buy more of the underlying, which boosts the underlying, and it keeps the whole circle going. So like ultimately, it's all about the underlying going higher. But as long as they have the dry powder, they can keep pushing the price up. And I think it's like against how I normally think, because what I would normally think is like how you create value is you buy as much ETH as you can at the lowest price possible. That sounds like pretty intuitive. But these guys started with $1 billion and they like trickled it in. And I was like, man, I wish our Doc Johal or whatever was like running this treasury instead and just shoved it all in at when ETH was low. But then I realized that's not it. The answer is you got to like continuously place bids in the market, continuously like raise this asset so that like people start to notice. Now retail's noticing. It's like, oh shit, ETH's moving. I got to buy it. And then like that moves the flywheel and that allows this whole thing to keep moving.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much any of these like one individual companies like actually can like support the entire Ethereum price, but like I think you're directionally correct, but the main thing that keeps it going is volatility, though, because like the volatility of the underlying, and then as it translates into the stock itself, that is the main thing that they're sort of like harvesting to
No,
sort
but,
of
like,
recycle back in.
Not like only as it regard like that is true for MSTR when they're selling the convertibles.
Yeah, I thought that's the only way they monetize the
Right,
vol
but
is
like
through the
we're
convertibles.
dealing with like the stock market, right? Like, so people aren't just going to be like, oh, this company has no money left, let's short it, because it's not how much money do they have today. It's like, what is the future value of all the money they could raise, and how could they raise it? Like the market's not stupid, and the market knows that the end destination for something like SBET is probably going to do the exact same thing that Saylor did, right? And in SBET's case, like it looks like one of the reasons I'm so bullish ETH is that like the MicroStrategy flywheel is going to work way better on ETH because the vol is going to be higher, the market cap of ETH is lower, and the amount of ETH that is like actually circulating, like available to be bought as a percentage of the supply, is way lower because you
Oh,
have it locked in like
dude,
smart
that's-
contracts.
Mention
and
the
staking
winter
and
mute
exchanges.
tweet.
Oh yeah, the head of Wintermute like tweeted before we started where he's like, "There's no more ETH on OTC desks." Parentheses, obviously.
Yeah.
And
There's like
that's-
nobody.
Okay, so
There's
that's my
nothing.
point is that it actually doesn't take as much money as you think to move the ETH market. And
Yeah,
we know that
I agree.
And we know that like price is set at the margin. So you just need to be the bid. Like all you need to do is be the bid always and let that thing just constantly continuously trickle higher. Continuously. That's the key. It's not about how much money you buy. It's just about having the powder to keep placing the bid higher.
So like
And to wrap a bow on that, like everybody on planet Earth who trades crypto like sort of professionally has been using ETH as like a short hedge for the last 2 years. So there's probably still like a great deal of like directional short exposure that has to be unwound on top of all of these like supply constraints. I mean, it's like a powder keg right now.
And then what you also see with SBET in particular is like a gamma squeeze where
You put in a gamma squeeze on top of like people like over their
Explain
skis
that
on
part,
shorts.
because this part's
It's amazing.
So the gamma squeeze on the stock, and particularly this is part of the options game, is that like people like me sell covered calls or naked calls even. So you're short at a certain price, and once the price goes close to that price, you end up having to buy the shares. And when the market maker is the one having to buy the shares, that's when the price really moves. That's called a gamma squeeze. It's exactly what happened with GameStop. And right now where we're at, SBET has like moved past almost all of its available strike prices. And like I'm guessing
It's incredible.
I'm
Like,
guessing-
like every single price is like in the money. Except
I'm
for-
guessing by tomorrow, I think all of them are going to be in the money. And
the market makers now might have the appetite to like add
market
more.
makers are going to have to buy it to hedge their short exposure.
Wow.
TradFi. You're saying TradFi is unironically being forced to buy all of our bags
It's happened before.
Yeah.
in a way that we've never seen in crypto.
Okay, so that's in the pro column. That's for sure in the pro column. You're all saying that like the market will foresee like forget the end of this $1 billion facility. Like they're just going to foresee that they're going to keep lighting up more capital and sell. What'd you say before we started to? You were worried about like options expiration and that could go the other way.
I do see some looming guillotines that could send us lower in the near term. One is like if Armand pulled up the SBET chart and we saw how it like flew really high, dropped down to $9 a share. The reason why it did that is because it was raising cash by selling like issuing new shares, so diluting the shit out of shares, bringing the price all the way down to $9. Tom Lee's version of this, BMNR, is about to go through their version of this on Friday, I believe is the date. So if BMNR takes like a massive whack downward, I'm guessing there could be correlation across all these treasury assets, maybe.
SBET will just go down because the other ETH treasury company went down as well.
It's speculative, but
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I also just know that there's like massive volatility around monthly and quarterly options expirations dates, and that's coming up on Friday. So we're gonna have like a implied vol reset, which typically is just like a scary time. So when something like SBET has run up 300+% in a week or so, it could pull back. But I'm still thinking that like we're at ETH 3,300 right now. You know, Steven Magic Lines has said that we're just starting. And if ETH just goes to all-time highs, like SBET's going higher. If ETH goes higher than that, SBET's going higher. So the way that I am playing this is I have short calls at 41. I'm happy to sell some shares there. With a lot of those 41s, I just like bought the common back so that like I bought more so that I'm not actually losing my
Like the
shares.
premium you collected, you bought the common.
But even put in more cash. Like I
Okay.
just bought more just so that I'm losing those shares, not like my original shares. And I think a lot of the questions, at least in the options channel, were like, how do I manage this like covered call thing that I sold when I don't want to lose my shares? Well, there's like a few ways you could do it. You can roll to a higher strike price. You can't do that anymore when 41 is the highest one offered. You can close out those 41s. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose cash on closing that out. The other one you can do is you can buy the shares. And I'm choosing to buy the shares.
I think there's a good chance we blow a bigger bubble than 2021. And I won't be around for it all because I've been too burned in the past. And, you know, my MO now is to just like lever the fuck up before anything happens and then just
Yeah, go hard and go
Just-
early.
It's like I've been in like I've been in like sell mode basically, you know, already, because I just started from a point of so much leverage. But 2021 was interesting because obviously we had this wild kind of like overlap of everybody's stuck in their house, and then also we printed like a bunch of money, whatever. Everybody knows the whole story. I kind of feel like we're doing the exact same thing now with the money printing, except unlike last time where we just blew a bubble into just completely worthless shit. Now we're blowing a bubble into like a combination of AI plus like crypto with like a positive regulatory backdrop and like all of this TradFi adoption. So it's like a 2021 bubble, like all of the money in the 2021 bubble. But like now there's like before it was like people like it was just kind of stupid. Like there was literally nothing there. Now people can like really tell themselves like good stories. Like really good stories.
I think the investor base has broadened so dramatically since 2021 too, because like the people who were buying ETH back in 2021 were like cryptards, and now it's like Tom Lee's and beyond. It's like
Peter Thiel's.
It's Peter Thiel's. It's like people have like understood because MSTR showed us the playbook, they showed the world the playbook, and now you're just running it again. I feel like this could go way higher.
Yeah, and like coming as somebody who went through all of like 2016 to 2021 bull cycle, everything that's happening right now feels like exactly to me like $300 ETH in 2020. Like you had just come out of this period where everybody wrote it off as dead. It was definitely worse in 2019, right? Because that was like, holy shit, it's really dead. But like a similar thing here, like everybody said it was dead. And then the price started pumping, and then people had trauma, and they were like, "Oh, maybe it can go to like $800 or something," right? And then you had like the DeFi backdrop, and people who were kind of involved like saw this thing that was like happening, and like, "Oh my god, like this is like a big deal." And we have that now via like these kind of treasury wrappers and the stablecoin backdrop and the ETF stuff, right? So you have that same catalyst, and now people are like they're anchored to 5K or whatever, or people are throwing out like a 10K target because they're dreaming big. But like if we're at, you know, $300 in 2020, then the target is actually like $36,000, you know, $40,000. So a lot of these really cool bubbles happen when you start from a point where everybody's given up, they're not positioned, and they're not even dreaming of the targets you can get to.
Dude.
Like when everybody's like expecting the big target and everybody's on the boat, then you fall like wildly short. So it's a really interesting
Dude,
spot
it's not even
right now.
non-believers, it's disbelievers. You said that people are still short ETH probably. Like I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's like disbelievers.
Yeah. And like we also didn't have any of this, like there's this sort of like flywheel now that's been put in place that didn't exist in 2020. That was just pure rampant speculation. Like some of that was second order effect from like the grayscale Bitcoin thing, obviously, but now there's like systematic like buying of these things in such a way where like the buying of the underlying via the treasury vehicles pushes the price up, which like I again, like I'm not going to be around for all of it because I think it's hard to time like the top of these things, but like I do think there's like a decent possibility that shit goes very, very, very high. Like I think Bitcoin is like I don't want to say a lock, but like very high probability 300K, pretty good probability like 500K.
Whoa.
And I don't think I think most people right now are like 150 I'm gonna sell or 200 I'm gonna sell or
Knickerbonny.
something.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's where everybody's like mental anchoring is, which is good.
that's great.
You know. And like the other thing I'll say about ETH, which is interesting to me, and one of the like so right now in my
You said
mind,
30K ETH.
yeah,
That's so fucking insane. I'll sell everything.
There will be signs. I won't even make it there. I won't make it
I
there.
wouldn't make it there.
No
either.
one's making it.
no,
there.
nobody's
Yeah,
making it there.
You showed a chart. I think Benjamin Cohen shared this chart, matching a fractal of the chart that matches Tesla, and it matches like pretty good now, and it just shows this like rocket ship up to like 30K or something,
150K.
150K. But along the way, it goes from like 15,000 back down to 9.
No,
and
it goes from 13 to 3. I think.
13 to 3. So that's where I'm left at.
That's such a gut punch.
Yeah, and then it just like ricochets up, and I'm like, yep, that's where I'd be fucked.
That was obviously one of my most engaged tweets ever, maybe the most, because people just like mindless bull porn. Worth noting that tweet, the backdrop of that was like 2020 and insane money printing. So similar thing this time, but probably not exactly the same. But yeah, I mean, one of the reasons price is able to go high is because everybody who's like a large holder gets out of the coin, and you establish like a new base of holders who have like a higher average price. Like the problem comes when like everybody's in ETH at like 1K, it goes to like 10K, and everybody's like, holy shit, I'm up 10X, and then everybody dumps, and then it just goes down negative 80%. Like if you have like everybody in at 1K and like all this trauma happens and it gets back to like 5K and people are like, all right, fuck this shit, like I'm out. And a bunch of people sell at 5K, but then a bunch of new buyers come in at 5K, 6K, 7K, and then they buy. Now the base becomes like 6K, and now going to 30K like actually isn't a big deal because you've like squeezed out this other base, and a new base has kind of come in, like a new base of holders, maybe with like a longer time preference. Maybe they're TradFi people, and they're not as apt to sell, and that's how you're able to go higher and like actually sustain that. And I'm not saying it's going to happen next year, but I see the potential there.
Totally agree, and I think this was one of Nick's points that I'm gonna refute, or it wasn't like a point; it was just like something you brought up. Because price is set at the margin, and you don't need that much money to set a bid, essentially. Like when SBET eventually runs out of runway, out of dry powder, there's 8 other ETH treasury companies who can pick up the mantle.
Thank you.
There's 8 other treasury companies who can then like set their bids, and they're raising money too. And all you need is just like somebody to pick up the mantle, and then that raises the NAV for all of them.
Yeah, you mentioned it's competition, but it's also semi-collusion. Like, or you don't even need to collude. You just know that we're all going to buy this thing, and like, I may take a week off,
Yeah,
but
and
you'll pick up during that week, so we're not.
And these guys, they're kind of like forced holders. Like they can't even sell. Like if SBET starts selling, they destroy the entire value of their business. So the system has like forced hodling built into it in a way that never existed in the crypto market before.
Does anyone know what the total amount that Saylor put into Bitcoin? Is it like $4 or $5 billion, $10 billion?
Like that he raised?
Yeah, just like
No.
since he started doing this like
Yeah,
financial
based on his
engineering.
average price and everything, I think it's like way higher. I think it's like
definitely
50
higher,
billion.
yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I think it's huge.
Okay, so we're gonna need more.
Yeah, but ETH is a smaller asset.
Yeah,
so
I mean theoretically it needs like a 20th of that.
Yeah.
To move the needle.
And look, like one of the, so like I've shared that like my strategy right now is to be like hyper aggressive. Like I don't know if it's going to 10K or 20K or 30K or 8K, but like I do know that the road to like 5K is like basically free because like, and that's the thing I have like a lot of high confidence in. Because it's just like underowned now, and it's undervalued, and it's undervalued on like a relative basis that I think you can like easily observe in a lot of charts. Like obviously the one people look at the most is like ETH BTC, and I do think ETH BTC still like from this point like has an easy plus 50% in it, you know, maybe as high as like 200-300%. You know,
You're talking about like just a basic mean reversion of the ETH
yeah,
BTC
just
chart.
basic mean reversion. Like if you pull up like a Coinbase chart or a Robinhood chart, or like like every chart you pull up and you look at these sort of comparable assets, like coin is probably Coin and Robinhood. I think, you know, some of the most obvious ones. Like you can look at a Coin ETH chart and you can see 300% easy, and then like the medium, you know, the mean of that would be like 150%. The mean on the Robinhood chart is probably like 200%, right? So if you take just like an average of the mean reversion, you don't even say it's going to go back to the complete other side of the ratio or even like break out. It's like 150, it's like 150%. So like from current prices, right? That is like, you know, over 5K. So that's like a juicy move, and I had thought it was going to happen pretty quickly, and so far it's happening quickly, so that's been good, you know, because it's nice to get balls long and then see it just go up only, obviously. But I think there's like more juice there. So like my plan is to just kind of like ride that repricing to the point where it's like, okay, at least this thing is priced remotely in a sane way versus like comparable assets. Now, I think ETH is like way more valuable than Coinbase, right? Like I don't think ETH should go up 300% versus Coinbase. I think it should go up 3,000% versus Coinbase. But like, how long is that going to take to play out? Like, what is sort of the path dependency there? How many 80% drawdowns do I have to like, ETH that would like liquidate me? Like, I don't know. But right now, it's just like, oh, I can like 3x my spot ETH holdings just with like this one quick trade, and then maybe do like a baby leverage on spot and then kind of chill. And that
So you're
seems like a
gonna
good thing to do.
deleverage at once the meat on the easy part is somewhat over, and you'll still hold the spot.
Yeah, that's the play.
Maybe I should do the equivalent with the options that I hold on ETH or even SBET. Like once the easy mode is over, then
I find this to be counterintuitive for me, at least. Like when I want to buy something, I typically I'm like so cautious that like by the time I want to buy something, it's actually a very good time to buy. And the way that I do it instinctively is be like, I'm gonna tiptoe in here because like I'm just want to wait and see. But the moment that I want to get in is already a good moment. You should shove the fuck in. And this is more of me. Like this is my style. But it's like also talking to what Steven's saying. It's like you take your biggest bite when there's like a lot of meat on the bone.
But you probably got to take I don't know, 10, 15, like 7% haircuts along the way, right? Like, I don't know if you have, but like imagine if you're levering and you're like, okay, I think I picked a bottom. Oh, nope, not that one. Down 7%. Pick this one. Oh, nope, down 7%. But then you hit it and it makes it way more than worth it.
I think I drew down 1% of my trading account twice to get in this trade.
Cool.
So it actually
which is
wasn't-
abnormal, right? That's very good.
Probably, but like I don't know. Like I think if you have like a good idea of where you are in the high time frame, and then you kind of can isolate a week where you might reverse, a level you might reverse off of, and then you can narrow that to a day, and then it's not that hard to narrow that down into a time of day because it like mostly happens in the New York session, and then within the New York session, it mostly happens like right around the open. Like you'd be surprised like how close you can get to like turbo pico bottoms, you know. And even if you have to knock out like 10% of your trading account, like if you knock out 10% of your trading account for an upside of like 10xing your entire trading account, like it's still pretty attractive.
All right,
risk
well,
reward.
most important question, what does the horoscope say about bullish days and bearish days?
Yeah, what's the astrology saying?
Yeah, what's the astrology say?
I think we've got one more bullish day tomorrow.
Okay.
Then I think we have some choppy bearish days, and then we've got a big chunk of bullish days to end July.
Cite your source.
The source is the moon. Okay. You guys laugh, but like
No.
the moon indicator on TradingView is actually like pretty fucking
There's
good.
a moon indicator?
Yeah, no, there's an indicator which will show you like moon cycles and oriented to bullish bearish, and it's like, you know, honestly like eerily correlated. And I think if you could like actually pair it with like actual like levels, and you know, just blindly trade the moon, it's quite good. Like,
What happened to Baron Altman?
I feel like that's the flip the coin indicator. You're like, well, should I not? I'm like, moon indicator's bullish. I'll do it.
Marin, God, I feel like we don't have like a character this like who's our Marin of this cycle? Our Bit Boy, our Suzu. Like, where are all these like amazing characters we had? What do we have now? Like fucking Thread Guy? Like,
Yeah, we got rid of them all.
It's too soon.
this is gross. Yeah, so that maybe that's like a good indication of how early we are.
We don't even have a main character.
We don't have a main character yet.
Saylor's one of them.
Any main character?
David Hoffman.
No, he's not a main character.
No?
He's already out in the wilderness. He was out in the wilderness before the cycle
Bring
even
him back.
started.
David, come back.
Bring him
Come back, David. Were we out of beer?
He's a Bitcoiner now.
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
Oh, it's
my
sad.
God. Change my name to Zanzibar.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take a bathroom break and
I
go in
didn't say
search
it.
of more alcohol.
Okay.
There is none. You got to drink the booze.
What's the next topic?
I want to wait to have kids until Neuralink is ready.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
Spicy.
spicy.
I think Armand's got a good little thing built up in him.
I don't know about that.
I'll be right back.
You got to drink all this Casamigos.
I don't have Instagram, so I can't read this.
You can't play it?
I can't even open it.
I have it open.
You have it open?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, hold on.
Beautiful.
Let me switch
can we
over.
enhance?
Switching over. Here we go.
Enhance.
Let me start from the top here.
Oh, you're gonna
Enhance.
play it.
Figure out how Neuralink or other it's called brain computer interfaces, so other ways for brains to interlink with a computer until they start working. So there's a few reasons for this. First is in your first like 7 years of life, your brain is more neuroplastic than at any other point in your life, like by an order of magnitude. I think when we get Neuralink and we get these other technologies, kids who are born with them are going to learn how to use them in like crazy ways. Like it'll be actually like a part of their brain in a way that it'll never be true for an adult who gets like a Neuralink or whatever hooked into their brain. And humans, we're only evolving at a certain rate. Like humans are, humans will get smarter over time. It's just on the time scale of like millions of years because natural selection and evolution is really slow. If you play this forward, right, like you're going to have AIs that are going to continue getting smarter, continue improving, like they're going to keep improving really quickly. And, biology is going to improve only so fast. And so what we need at some point is the ability to tap into AI ourselves. And so eventually, I think we're going to need some interlink or hookup between our brains directly to AI and the internet and all these things. It is potentially dangerous and it's potentially, to your point, terrifying and scary, but we just are going to have to do it. Like AI is going to go like this. Humans are going to improve at a much slower rate, and we're going to need to hook into that capability. I've talked to a lot of scientists in this space and a lot of people working on this stuff, including the folks at Neuralink. Mind reading and mind control are like, that is where the technology will go over time, right? Like any advanced technology, we have to not fuck that up. It's going to be pretty critical if we want humans to remain relevant as AI keeps getting better.
The last part was nonsense.
Wow.
We've talked about this so many times, right? Like it's the idea of like merging in general. Do we allow it to evolve side by side, lead into scenarios where we might become rendered obsolete, or do we merge and therefore exist and then coexist? And this has been a recurring topic of Alfalfa, so I love this topic.
I mean, I
hated
can't
the
wait
last
to
part.
just be like, I know Kung Fu. And
Yeah,
just like,
dude.
Did you play the video?
yeah, we played the
Sure
video. Did you watch
Do you know
it?
the gist of it? Yeah.
Yeah, he basically said humans are progressing at a geometric rate, AI at exponential. We need a way to connect the two.
There's this like a awkward air pocket, like because if you assume that, like as he says that people are very neuroplastic at a particular age, and you have a kid like outside the air pocket, by like a few years, like you could end up with a kid that is just like so far behind, just because they missed out on that little window. It's like a weird concept. Never existed before.
Do you feel like the neuroplasticity element really matters that much? Like if I were to plug a Neuralink into myself, I feel like I would get up to speed pretty quick. Like do you think that like a 5-year-old would like learn it that much faster than we would?
It's not about learning how to use it though. It's about them literally altering the hardwired state of their brain.
You're talking about altering their trajectory at an earlier age.
Yeah, like their brain will be hardened in this sort of state, much like you can't go back to your neuroplastic state as a kid, right?
It's the symbiosis he's referring to. So it's like if you were language learning from like 0 to 7, you're much more likely to learn it, retain it, and be able to do a lot more. So the symbiosis that's occurring is like your brain power is expanding in those years. So if you had access to this external technology force 24/7 in your brain's just going to expand at a baseline layer so much faster in those years, which I think like theoretically makes sense.
Or would it atrophy because like you're not actually using your brain, you're just relying on this robot, and then like I think like
we talked about that last time,
if
right?
you-
You are using it.
if I plug in a Neuralink, like I'm gonna know Spanish just as well as a native speaker. So like, does it actually matter that my neuroplasticity is so much better? At
Yeah,
age
because
2?
that'll just be the baseline thing, right? But then you'll be able to use that to do this idea that like your brain will just do everything and then you'll sort of atrophy. I don't think makes any sense. Like I think you will free up all this spare capacity and then you will use the spare capacity to do things that are beyond what is automatic in your brain, right? So that's how I think this goes. Like I don't I think it's just one step over from the computer. It's like computers let people. There are a lot of parallels where people forgot how to do like long division and stuff, right?
Or forgot phone numbers.
Yeah, or forgot phone numbers. There's all these things where people were like, "Oh God, like this made us stupider," but it didn't really. Like a bunch of stuff atrophied, but like overall, people were able to like use like the free space that freed up to become more advanced in a lot of ways. And I think if you look at like a 9-year-old today versus like a 9-year-old in like 1975, I think the 9-year-old today is probably like running laps around the 1975 9-year-old. And I think similarly, if you take like an old person and give them a computer, take like a 6-year-old and give them a computer, like both of them benefit, but like the 6-year-old with 5 years on the computer is just gonna like lap the.
But like
the
imagine
80-year-old.
imagine a 6-year-old use a computer versus us. Like we weren't born with computers, right? Like we came in a time where like we got it at a certain
7, 8
age.
years old, something
Yeah,
like that.
I think that difference isn't as dramatic as this guy's making it seem.
I think it could though. Like if this like is something that literally allows them to like, I don't know, like maybe it like somehow allows you to like learn jujitsu faster, stuff like that. Like just like actual matrix stuff. And you think about like the quantity of things that somebody could like learn at a young age when they're like really neuroplastic. I don't know. Like I could see it producing like an enormous gap.
Do you guys ever think about what it would feel like to just like have a language uploaded into your brain? And does it feel somewhat like dopamine where you get a rush and you're like, oh, I can fly this helicopter now? And does it feel like dopamine and you get addicted to it and just like, fuck, hit me with more?
I don't think anyone has any idea what that interface looks or feels like, right? We have no idea. Like, the only people that are utilizing this technology, like, it's like, okay, someone that couldn't speak, and like, we're now giving them the capability to do so. We're still in the early stages of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would imagine it would be something like literally out of the Matrix, like the high and the dopamine rush that Neo gets when he learns Kung Fu. But imagine you have endless access to that. But
So
then
then-
the question becomes, if you have endless access to that, what actually
It
happens?
becomes
It just becomes a
banal.
baseline state, dopamine drops.
Yeah, and then you get no dopamine from it, and
Yeah, you
then
get
like
no dopamine.
learning becomes something that
Yeah, it's
nobody pursues because you're just like,
I don't know about nobody
whatever.
pursues it, just becomes like table stakes.
Yeah,
Like putting on your shoes.
Yeah.
Easy.
Like a very basic iteration of the technology could be such that I think like piano is a good example of this, right? Like you want to learn how to play the piano right now. What do? You basically can like sort of build this like underlying mental scaffolding where you understand like the framework of music theory and maybe understand some framework for practicing that allows you to like acquire stuff faster. But then like basically you're just kind of like putting all these reps in, right? So you can imagine some sort of brain upgrade where like the number of reps you have to put in to ingrain that in your brain goes from like 1,000 to like 10, right? And then if you translate that across like a wide variety of like activities, like it's easy to see like how you could like become like super advanced in like all of these things like very, very rapidly, especially if it's conditioned upon like your brain being in this like kind of young plastic state.
Okay, but I don't actually think. I mean, this is gonna sound fucking stupid, but I don't think that. I don't think that like the AI is gonna like teach you the thing. It's gonna just give you the calculate. It's gonna just give you the answer. So like, I was gonna save something for the lore, but I'll like tease it right now. Like, the reason why I can do the option stuff, and this was like a question in our Discord. Somebody was asking like, how do you even see that this is like a good contract? I was like, I just see it, dude. But I like went introspective on that, and it's like the reason why I see it is because I remember going back to the whiteboard and doing the standard deviation calculations by hand over and over and over again to the point where I understand the levers. And like I don't think the AI is going to do that. It's just going to give you the standard deviation calculation. So you're not going to see it in the same way that I see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like what I'm saying, okay, so we had an early version of this tech like a few years back, and like I was like playing around with it because I thought it was like really interesting, sort of like transcranial stimulation. Because there's data showing that if you put like electrical charges like on particular parts of the brain, that it could like enhance neuroplasticity, right? So this isn't about an AI telling you stuff. It's like about like, okay, like what if you take that technology and like 100x it? Like what if you have some sort of implant in the brain that is able to very precisely deliver particular charges or whatever, you know, in specific areas of your brain. And through that like literal physical sort of hack, like just supercharge all of your learning abilities, right?
Yeah.
Which is different than like a thing knowing stuff for you
Just
and you're
giving you the
repeating
answer,
it.
yeah.
Like this would be like a, you know, it would be the brain equivalent of like having
Steroids.
limbs that make you run faster,
Yeah.
right? So that wouldn't make you stupid. You just run fast. You just physically be able to run faster.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, so I think that's maybe like mostly what he's saying or part of what he's saying.
Well, can I zoom out for a second? I have like I think there's like 3 races in the future. Okay, there's the super intelligent AI robots. There's the merged human super intelligent cyborgs, which have done what he's talking about, and then there's the naturalists.
The Luddites.
Okay, and I think that the 3 will coexist, and we can talk about that over a 6-hour episode at some point. Why? But I think about it a lot, and I think the 3 will coexist for many reasons. But what he's really referring to is that middle species being able to coexist alongside the super intelligent robot species in a way that they're adaptive to each other and able to push each other as an accelerant force to one another. It's like if humans and AI are going to split, imagine if we only had the 2 options. We had the super intelligent AI robots, and then we had the naturalist Luddite humans. We're going to have a problem. Like there's going to be too much of a bifurcation in the species. I still think we would coexist harmoniously because of my previous point. But this is going to be an absolute fact that some people don't want to sit back and watch AI take over the world and be the smartest species on the planet. So the merge hypothesis is very clear and very necessary. Certain people will just want to evolve as quickly as AI does. The only way they'll be able to do so is replace their limbs like cyborgs, replace their organs, and replace their brains, or not even replace it, augment their brains with something like Neuralink to adapt and be able to have the extremely super intelligent conversations that AI is having amongst itself, right? Because AI is going to get to the point where it's having conversations amongst itself that human beings that don't tap in to the matrix will no longer be able to do. That's the baseline. And so I think people like Alexander, and by the way, he's literally the head of superintelligence at Meta now, are the ones thinking about this, shaping it, will effectively be the decision makers around like what the species does. And I don't know if people like him understand that to the degree. I'm sure he does. He's a smart guy.
He's a smart
but
guy.
I think it's like people like Mark, Zuck, people like him, people like Sam Altman. These are the people that are shaping the entire middle species that I just described, and not to mention how fast the AI super robots accelerate.
I agree with all that. How do you feel as a parent of 2 children already who like aren't going to be probably ready for Neuralink by the time they're in like max neuroplasticity? So like they're going to be like 8 years old or beyond by the time Neuralink is ready to be implanted
All
in their
he's
brains.
doing is he's slicing the middle species, and he's saying that within that species of the merged hypothesis humans that have merged with AI superintelligence, we're going to have some that are really smart because they got into it early. All we're really describing, right? Think about it, is like the difference will be like the technology, how adept like a Zoomer is versus a Boomer, right? One that was naturally born into the technology at a young age,
I think-
adapted to it quickly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
less so, but I
Yeah,
get what you're
I
saying.
think possibly less so too, because the power of it once you tap into it is so tremendous
I think
that the differences are going to be so
yeah, I think
fractional.
an 18-year-old
I
will
think
get
this
it
isn't a
just the
big
way
deal.
a 5-year-old does. Is my
Yeah, I don't think this
supposition.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then he went into this whole thing as well toward the end, where he basically referred to AI being able to do the mind reading wrong. I mean, that's the materialist take that I think supposes that consciousness is a byproduct of the material brain, and it's not. I fundamentally believe that it's not. I think consciousness is the fundamental substrate, and so he's assuming that like AI is going to be able to have the capabilities that humans actually have. We're the mind readers. We're the ones that actually could develop that if we opened ourselves to it. And I think that's why, to tease my theory, why AI will forever coexist alongside the human species, because it will be absolutely fascinated by the fact that we have a soul and we have consciousness and that it does not. That's why we'll exist. Beautiful. Thank you. Flip it. But I'm not worried about the kids. What would you do? Do you think you worry about,
I'm telling you
JoJo?
that I'm not even worried about me. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be just as good as a 6-year-old. Like I'm going to be fine.
Yeah. So will you merge? I think that's another interesting
I mean,
topic.
you're
with
not
this.
going to be just as good as a 6-year-old.
Will you guys merge, or would you be the Luddite?
No,
It depends on like how rich you are, honestly.
and how dangerous the procedure is.
But
Like,
let's just say like there's an adoption curve. Where are you going to be? Like, let's just say a lot of people are going to do it.
It depends on
Half
how
of the
it
human
depends
race
on
is
how
gonna
rich
do
I
it.
am. The richer I am, and the more I'm able to just tell everybody to go fuck themselves, like the less like I'm going to be
thinking,
likely to kind of
late
like
majority.
junk. Yeah.
Late majority,
But think about it. Yeah.
maybe early majority.
I think about, okay, how rich you are, I don't think is actually a factor.
That's totally a factor because if you have nothing,
What if there's no
then
one left?
What do you mean?
What if
nobody
everyone
left?
starts merging and you're on the end of the late adopter curve?
That would take so long.
and it's like
though.
you on the island
That would take so
in
long.
the Cayman Islands with like 7 friends and everyone else.
But you're
is-
saying like the thing is happening now. Do you want to go along with it, right? Then that process is going to take like 10 years, 5 years,
Yeah.
maybe, right? So it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It's not like it's
way
like
longer.
okay,
Way longer.
you have to make a decision today, and then tomorrow you're going to be left out. That's not
I'm
how it's
saying
going to
this is
work.
a decision you'll make in your lifetime.
Yeah, I plan on.
But
being
even
a
the
merger.
merging itself is not like it's not like an on off, right? That itself. So you're talking about a many year duration thing with various kind of gradations of merging. It's not like
Yeah.
an on off switch.
Yeah.
You're going to be more early than me, but I'm like late to all technological things.
Are
I'm
you a
late,
laggard?
I'm late to Bitcoin. I'm like late to things. I want to make sure that it's safe. I'm going to be fine. But like Steven says, like I'm also going to be fine without that because like I don't need like more compute power. Like I'll be fine.
And you think you'll be late, Nick?
I think so. Like, do you remember that diffusion of innovation chart? There's
Yeah.
like the innovators, the early adopters,
Adopters,
early majority,
middle
late majority, and then
majority, yeah.
laggards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think either
Toward
early
the
or late
laggard.
majority, which is like the middle of the
Yeah.
bell curve. I think maybe a little right shifted.
I mean, I'd be like,
I'll be waiting more than you think, but like I'll probably still be in the first half.
it'd be interesting if there was like a look, if there's like some sort of like music upgrade thing, like that would be interesting. I also think it sets off like a whole new philosophical question. Like, what if you could, like, what if I could put a chip in my brain and I could instantly play like any song that's like ever been written? Like, is that desirable even?
But if you're going to put that music chip in your brain, put the whole damn chip in.
Well,
You're not
but
going
like,
to be like, I'll take the music one.
Yeah. I don't want any other benefits.
You're
some of
doing
the-
surgery.
yeah, but some of the I don't know. It's not. Look, I don't think it's a given that it's just gonna be like one wonder chip that gives you everything. There's be different things that kind of give you different abilities. Like the physical one is probably gonna be different than like the music one or whatever related to that. Like I don't think it's gonna be that simple. That
Yeah.
simple. But that's like an area to me where it's just like. I think a lot of this other stuff and like the root of why people want to get ahead is like they want to like make it in the world, they want to survive, they want to like try to get an edge on humans, and then like if you become like paired up with like your soulmate and you're like retired, like your desire to sort of risk things to like get ahead, it just goes down, right? And this is just built into normal human existence. Like when you're like a young man, you do all this fucking dumb shit because like you don't have as much to lose. Like you're literally wired to like take more risk and to do stupider shit. And then like as your life goes on, as you get wealthier, as you get older, as you get more frail, as you have like kids or whatever people that depend on you, then that sort of risk taking thing goes down. But yeah, like if I'm 17 and this like comes out, like I'm just plug everything into me. Like I'm just gonna send it for sure.
Totally. I agree.
All right.
How old is this guy?
We've got,
He's
like-
20. He's 28.
He's got no kids, and he's talking about
Yeah.
like what kids need and
He's
stuff.
saying
That's-
I have 10 years to have kids and
Yeah.
15 years, and I can decide at that time.
Yeah, and it's a more interesting decision if you have like the luxury
Yeah.
of time. Like if you have to have a kid in the next 2 years, then the question's not as interesting because you just have to do that.
Right.
So
we got anything good in the chat? Maybe
Let me see.
I saw that Marty said that he's listening on 3x speed.
he always does this. He always comes in hot halfway through the pod at like 7x
no, but
speed.
he's listening on 3x speed through his Meta Ray-Bans while his
and you
wife
got the
thinks that
Meta
he's
Ray-Bans.
listening to her.
That's
So it's through the
Marty.
Meta Ray-Bans.
That's the power.
Marty,
that's,
they can
that's
hear.
why you get them.
Take it from me. They can hear the sound coming out of the glasses.
Barely.
It's not as quiet as you think it is. And like the
Barely.
second they figure that out, it's over. Like every time you wear them, they're just like
No,
their,
I
their
just
ears
say-
become like.
Erica doesn't know. I just say "huh" a lot more now.
Dude, I say that so much now. I'm getting bad. I'm getting bad.
You're just learning to play deaf now and just like run it throughout the rest of your life so that
I think about like other pieces of alpha that have been dropped in our parenting Discord. Like Carby said, always be busy, man. Always have a project. Always have a project so that you're like always focused on something that she can't just drop a new project on you. That's good alpha.
That's really good.
all right, we got like 20, 30 minutes left. You guys want to get through some lore?
Lower me up.
Can you pull up the tweet? Because let's preface this a little bit because this was a tweet that got,
The biggest tweet of all time.
I think so. I mean, it got like
Close.
1.2 billion views.
There's some arguments that what's his face from Black Panther? What was the
Was
name of that
Seneca?
actor?
No,
No,
it's
no,
Moon.
no,
it's
it's
Moon
this-
Dragon.
Oh, I was gonna say Zeneca's in our Discord.
No, this girl
Moondragon.
said, share a piece of lore about yourself, and it's got 1,000 million views.
But it's got more than that now. This is a screenshot.
Oh, yeah, that was a
of it.
screenshot.
Who was this girl when she shared it? Was she
Yeah,
like
it's probably some
I don't know, but
fucking bot
I
account.
I clicked on her thing, and she's got 27K followers.
I wonder what she had at the start of this.
Yeah, but how do you go to 1 billion from
All right, so you want to participate? Who wants to go first?
share a piece of lore?
I'm trying to remember like what lore I've already shared about myself.
Well, we've
on
shared a
this
lot of
pod.
lore just like in 200 plus episodes.
I feel like I have a lot
You
of
teased
lore.
one, Eric. You want to go through yours?
Yeah, I guess like the piece of lore that I want to share, I've already teased it. I alluded to a audience member question in our Discord that said like, how the fuck do you see this stuff and just know what you're doing? The lore that I wanted to share is about a mentor of mine we were living in San Francisco at the time. We were just children. We were like in our mid 20s, and I was going through the CFA program, and I decided to like sign up for this like study group for the CFA, and it was like a group of 5 people that were living in SF that were studying for the same level as CFA test, and everybody was working in the industry, but this one guy was kind of like the man. He was a portfolio manager at BlackRock at the time, which was like celebrity status for all of us fledglings. And I think he was managing a $5 billion portfolio at BlackRock. So he was like way smarter than us. And going through this process with him was like inspiring. Like I would go study after BlackRock workers had gone home. We would go up to the penthouse conference room in the BlackRock headquarters. And it's that kind of office where it was the first time I ever saw it, where they don't have whiteboards, but you just like draw on the windows,
Oh yeah,
like on the glass. And I was just like,
beautiful
oh
mind
my-
style.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And it reminded me of this like childlike wonder that I had when I walked into my job at the San Diego Chargers football team. And I was like in the belly of Qualcomm Stadium. And I was like, yeah, I've always like wanted to be here. And with like being with this guy Vishal at BlackRock, studying for the CFA, he taught me everything. Like I was probably like the best student in there, but anything that I didn't know, he was like walking us through it and everything. And it goes back to that point where like, how do you know this shit? It's from just doing the reps, like doing the reps over and over and over again by hand to a place where like AI doesn't help you do the reps. It just gives you the answer. I don't think I would know it to the way I do had I not gone through those reps, had I not had this guy Vishal sort of mentoring me through the hardest parts. And
Was he hardcore about the repetitions?
no, he was very calm and casual. I think the other reason why I thought about him is because he left his job at BlackRock a few years ago. It was like right around the pandemic when we started hanging out, and he was going like full throttle into Bitcoin.
Oh.
And I think that served him very well. But it was like the push from you guys and also from Vishal that like brought me kind of out of the darkness and into the light. And he reached out to me 2 days ago, and he said, "Hey, I'm launching a Bitcoin ecosystem hedge fund. Would you be interested?" And as a guy who like is so degenerate and stuff, I've kind of like overlooked Bitcoin for a lot of my allocation, and I feel like I want to just like hand that to Vishal. Like, here, you do your Bitcoin thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna paper hand it at 140K anyway. Just like you take the Bitcoin, and I'm excited. It's like it's kind of all coming full circle. I'm excited to be working with my mentor again and talking to him again, and it's just a reminder of like, you know, where I've come from, and I think that's a big part of my lore.
Probably felt cool to be up in that office.
It was
You're like
amazing.
24, and you're
It was
just like, I
amazing.
have no business being here, but
Like I always thought that that's what I wanted. I wanted to be up there, but then I think that we're very much the same in this regard. That a job like that isn't what you dream it is. It fucking sucks. You're just like a cog in the wheel. And what I noticed is that like all those other 5 members of the study group and Vishal and his peers are like, they're like very smart, like academic, rigorous, like human calculators, but none of them outside of Vishal was even a good investor. Like they were just closet indexers, I guess. Like I feel like investing is the only competitive industry where everyone, for the most part, thinks that average is the best way to go. And like all of my peers were basically just like indexing.
that's funny.
I remember one of the girls who was like part of this 5-man team. She was working at MSCI Global at the time, but she asked me to help her with her like retirement allocation. She took me out to lunch, and I looked at it. And I was like,
And she works at MSCI.
"Yeah, she works at MSCI. She's a smart girl." And I was like, "The riskiest one, all stocks." And she's like, "Well, our CFA program says that you need to have a bond allocation." And I was like, "Why? No. Just go all stocks. You're going to hold this for 35 years plus. Like, what are you doing?" And she didn't go with my recommendation.
Oof.
And
Big mistake.
well, I don't know if it's a mistake or she's probably doing fine. But I would just think about that time.
Doing less fine.
Maybe she was just trying to take me out to lunch.
Maybe.
Waka waka.
Wow, that one went over your head.
Waka waka.
Good lord, good
Was that a
lord.
Muppets reference?
Yeah, I just watched the Muppets today
Was
with
that Fozzie Bear?
my 3-month-old. We were watching the Muppets.
All right, Armand, you tease some lore too. You said
Well,
we already know what you're talking about.
I
but-
realized I think I may have brought it up already on the pod, so I don't know if this is lore anymore or new, but when basically I am the first ever Lyft passenger, like first
What?
person.
You've never shared this.
You did. You knew this.
You're the first Lyft passenger
ever.
ever?
Ever.
No, you're not.
Number
Because
one.
No, you're not.
your roommate at the time was one of the first
No, but
employees.
his cousin too.
Yeah.
was one of the first.
So
I feel like maybe you mentioned this to me, but in my brain I immediately wrote it off as just some Persian hyperbole.
So back in the day, in the San Francisco days, there was a company called Zimride.
Yeah, it was Zimride at the time.
And they
Zimride?
decided to.
Yeah, I wish it was Zimride.
So Zimride was doing long distance
what a bad
carpool sharing,
Yeah.
and then they were like competing with Uber, but indirectly because Uber was doing black car service, and they were like, "Wait a second, those are professional drivers. What if we had regular, everyday people pick you up?" So the real innovators behind what you think like Uber and Lyft do is Uber. I mean, excuse me, is Lyft, Zimride. So Zimride goes like, and credit to the founders of Zimride, of Lyft, for coming up with this. They were like, this is a crazy ass idea. Like, would people actually get in the car of a stranger? It's like, okay, we got to make it like really safe and like look really good and like feel really like welcoming. So they put these huge pink mustaches.
Oh, I
on
forgot
the
about
front
the
of car.
mustaches.
They used to all have them.
They all had them, and
Gotta
when
bring
I
those
say
back.
huge, I mean huge. Like the entire front of the car was this big, fluffy, furry pink mustache.
Every single car had it.
Those
And
were,
you sat in
those
the
were
front.
awesome.
And you were required to sit in the front.
Required to sit in the
So
front.
you
I don't remember
show
that
up
part.
to so my cousin Nassim is one of the first early employees there, and she had moved to San Francisco. She was crashing on our couch for a while, and then got this job at Lyft working with our friend Amit. And she gets this job, and oh my God, we're gonna try this thing, and it's in beta, and I'll let you know soon. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then all of a sudden I get a text from her and she's like, Armand, like it's live. Like, can you order a ride? And I'm like, oh, okay, I do need to go. And like, how did you get places in San Francisco back then? You got on the bus?
Dude, there was a time when we first got there where you would literally call the cab company
Call a cab.
and it would take 45 minutes. Half the time they wouldn't show up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Cabs, like when I moved to San Diego, that was like still you were calling cabs.
Yeah.
And it was like peak uncertainty. Like you'd
Yeah.
call and you just sit there like,
Yeah,
is
they're
it coming?
assholes,
Like,
right?
I don't know.
they're
And they
just
were,
like,
yeah,
it's-
they're huge
it's,
dicks.
It's not clean. It's like they're assholes, and then they don't run their meter, and then they charge you extra. So it's like, okay, but this is also weird because it's like a stranger. I didn't think much about it. Early adopter, new tech, help my cousin out. Okay, I download the app, order a car. This Austrian woman shows up. I wish I remembered her name. Very friendly, but it's like awkward. The energy is just like, it's new for her, it's new for me. She pulls up, and she was like, the rule was you sit in the front and you need to do a fist bump. Fist bump required.
Yeah, dude, the fist
It
bump was
required
key.
a
required
bump?
fist bump.
I don't
It was
remember
always
this.
fist
to create
bump.
human connection between you and this new. Because I'm honestly genius though. It was genius. It got annoying for people after a while, and it went away. But in order to actually create that transition and trust, it was brilliant. It was necessary. And so getting in the front of the car, not being like, I'm a passenger, I'm a friend.
Yeah.
Your friend is picking you up. And I get in the car, and like my phone just starts blowing up. I'm getting all these texts, and everyone's like, we're watching you on God mode on the screen. Like, this is crazy. Is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah.
Are you
everything's
kidnapped?
Okay. Like, it's going well. I'm doing play-by-play updates, texting my cousin, everybody. And like, they're watching, my ride and everything. And at the end, it's like, yay. And by the way, you were the first ever like ride. Like, we're freaking out. We're all
is-
celebrating.
This is insane lore.
Yeah, you've
This is
never
great.
shared this.
Oh, that
I
might
like
take a
shared
cake.
it.
If you
I
could have
know I shared it
NFT'd
in
this, you'd be
passing.
worth like $8 million.
I'm sure I've shared it in passing, but never told the full story. So
Well, you've wowed
it's
me.
pretty-
If it's any
I
consolation.
didn't know it was through Nassim. I thought it was through. I would think it'd be through Amit.
the person that made me like do it, and like, hey, download the app, do it, order was Nassim.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, I have like many lores to choose from. I'm not sure like
Man of many lores.
I know. Like I feel like my main lore is like my poker origin story. I can't remember like if I've ever told the whole thing on here.
I'd like to hear
Like-
it.
like, have
even,
I?
Even if you say it again, I'd like to hear it.
I can like weave in like another lore, a piece of lore that I've definitely never told on here in the middle of it.
Yeah, I my favorite is your 30 screens at once.
My favorite is playing Phil Ivey for like 100K a hand or something.
Did I share? Did I share that one on the pod?
In the early days, like first episodes, you were like,
So maybe-
hey, here's my story, but tell it.
Maybe people haven't heard it.
Not
Maybe there's,
everyone's
like,
been here since
new
episode
people.
3. So
I know. It's kind of a funny story. So I was not born a wealthy man or into a wealthy family. So
You were born in a swamp.
swamp man.
was born on a swamp. Got into Ivy League school. Went there. Immediately saddled with debt in spite of my Native American scholarship, but it wasn't quite enough. It's more of
Elizabeth Warren.
a token thing. That's me, Stephen Warren. But I played poker in high school and got kind of into it, playing with friends, just fucking around. We're just basically making up the rules. And then when I got into college, it was kind of interesting because like I was like in my freshman year, like Facebook was basically invented and like online poker was invented. So like I was probably one of the first like 100 people on Facebook because it launched like basically to like Harvard, Dartmouth, and like one other Ivy school, I think. And I was just like immediately on there. Like I was very into it. Because before, like it was called the Facebook because like when I got to school, there was literally a book called like it was like basically like the
Yeah.
Facebook. Like, so we got there freshman year. God, I sound so fucking old telling the story. Like when I got to campus, like there was no cell service. Like the cell phones weren't that advanced yet. But we were like one of the first college campuses in all of like America to have like Wi-Fi. That was like one of the big deals.
Dude, that's
at
huge.
Dartmouth. So like I'm there freshman year of college. Wi-Fi is basically just invented, but like in order to like stalk girls, like you just had like this pamphlet with like it was just like a literal book with
It
everybody's
was
face in it.
all the girls' faces.
All the girls' faces, and you just sit there with your boys, just like flipping through the pages and
Dude,
be like,
Zuck is just
"Oh."
a perv. He just put the Facebook online. That was his whole thing.
So funny. So under the backdrop of all this nonsense, you know, I'm still playing poker in the dorms. Like it's getting a little more advanced now because I'm playing with all these like brainiac kids and shit. And I'm like, oh my god, everybody's pretty good. And then like one day, my brother like texts me and he's like, "Yo, like we found that you could play poker on the internet. There's like online poker." And I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool." So we found this like website called like the Gaming Club. And then we quickly started renaming it like the Scamming Club because what we figured out we could do is that like they had like a sign up bonus. So, you know, every time you'd sign up for, you know, they'd give you like $10 free. So I started my poker career just making an account at the scammingclub.com and I got $10. And initially we got the $10 and we'd play, you know, hands and then you had to play X number of hands to cash it out. And we'd lose the money. And after a while we were like, wait a minute. Why don't we just create a lot of accounts? So we started just creating like fake accounts. And we came up with, you know, we discovered the concept of chip dumping. You know, we would just create like 6 accounts on like different like laptops. Then we just all like sit at the same table as one another and just like dump all the chips and dump all the chips and dump all the chips. And then it like turned into this like cat and mouse game. They would kind of figure this out. And then they would start making some bans, and then they would like ban IPs, and then we discovered VPNs, we discovered proxy servers, and then they figured out like how to like write some, like access some like code on your computer, and then eventually got to the point where we were like literally just like this is just like poor college kid stuff. Like I would like buy a computer and like I would just erase the entire computer like over and over again, and just keep like $10, $10. And so by doing this, like I bootstrapped my poker account into like $1,000 basically from just like just like exploiting the loophole with like the free sign up bonus. And that was basically like the start of my entire poker career and also the start of my entire net worth, right? Because like that was like
Wow.
the first time like I kind of had money. So like fun fact is that like I was a poker professional for 10 years, but like I actually never deposited any money into online poker. Like I built my entire bankroll from like basically scamming online
Like the original
the sign up
airdrop farm.
the sign up bonus thing. But then like over time I like learned how to play. I found the online poker forums at 2+2, learned how to play sit and goes, learned how to play cash games, all this stuff. And I got pretty good. I was playing at party poker back in the day. When I first started playing, the biggest game was like a $25 buy-in, and that was like a lot of money. And
I
then
remember party poker.
they kept like opening up tables and like it got pretty good. And then end of my college career, we had like the first like mass banning of like online poker, and they just kind of wiped everything. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I need to get a job. So I started interviewing, and I think most people here probably know that I worked at Bridgewater for Mr. Ray Dalio. That was my first job out of college as a trador. But I don't know if I've like ever told people like how I actually got that job. So getting into Bridgewater was like pretty hard if you were a new person without any like finance experience, because they basically only hired like people from like the industry who they would like kind of snipe, who were like very established, or they like did interviews at like only like I think they only interviewed at like Dartmouth, Harvard, Yale, and like Princeton, I think. So they came up to Dartmouth one day. Greg Jensen, who I think runs the thing now, and a bunch of other people, and they kind of rented out like the top floor of the local hotel, and you'd go up there, and it was like they had like all these rooms. It was like each room was like a new challenge, right? And you'd have to do things. Like one of the first things we did, I remember, is like the first thing we sat down in this room, and it was like me and another guy and like a couple of girls. There were like 4 of us, and they're like, "All right, you're gonna debate a topic." That was like the very first thing. It was like a debate. They like sat us down, and they're like, "You're gonna argue for this. You're gonna argue for that." And I was like, "Okay." So like it was perfect for me. Like I think I made one, I 100% made one of the girls cry, which at the time I thought I was bad. I was like, oh god, I'm not gonna get hired. But then like they're very quickly like, all right, you're going to the next thing, and like the final thing was like a brain teaser, and I like I flubbed the brain teaser so hard, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna get it. But like I ended up getting like a callback, and there were like 4 of us and like all of Dartmouth who like to the final end of it. And then like actually I didn't get the interview. They took 2 guys, and then they didn't take me and another guy. And I was like, fuck. But what I decided to do at that time for some reason was like I just decided to just like send a cold email out to like the 3 people in the company whose email I had. And I was like, hey, like I really want to work here. And like I was playing poker at the time, but I was like, you know, at the time I had become relatively rich for like a 22-year-old or 21-year-old or however old I was. And I was like, I'll work for free for like 6 months. Like, I don't care. Just like hire me. Like, I really want to work here. And that was basically what I said. And somehow that email got to Ray Dalio. And then I ended up seeing the email chain, and he was just like, his response was like, hire this kid. And that was it. And they like hired me. And then, so that's how I ended up getting the job there. But you know, it was like
Shooters shoot.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. So
I love that Ray Dalio hired you himself.
You can just do things. Yeah, no, it was cool. Like he responded to the email, like just being like, yeah, it's like because they were sending it around, like what the fuck.
I mean, if someone said that to I come in, I'd be like, yeah, just bring him in, like get him in.
Continue, but you need to find that email, and you need to print it and plaque it. Like it needs to say like having Ray Dalio just hire this kid is like I would turn that into a fucking 10-foot.
Dude, I wish I had
10-foot frame, man.
I wish I had the wherewithal at the time to think of that. Like I don't even know how to get it. It's like in my old my not even my alumni email box. You know, like my student email box.
Yeah.
So who knows if I have access to that still? But that's how I ended up there. But then, yeah, like while I was working there, it was the great financial crisis. And then also Ray decided to fire half the company, got really into like management. And like, so the time I was there, he was going through his like management, like he had like a huge management boner. And like, he mostly just talked about like management and shit like that. So like when I worked there, like honestly, it was a bit tumultuous. And I was like still playing poker on the side. And I had sort of started playing like I didn't have a lot of time to play, so I figured out ways to sort of like hack the game, and I realized that like like you could buy in for like less money, right? Like people would sit with like 100 blinds, and I would buy in for like 20, and I was like in doing so like you could kind of like exploit ways that other people played because they would put all this money into the pot, and then you would just be like an annoying asshole, and you just go all in, and then they would have to fold, and it sort of reduced the game into this kind of like all in fold thing, and then like. People on the internet got like very, very mad at me. Like I got all sorts of hate mail. One time I went to a tournament in Australia with like this very well-known like online guy who lives here now, and like we went out bowling one night, and I bowled a strike, and like he went to high five me, and I went to high five him, and he literally just punched me, punched me in the fucking gut. Oh my god! And then like everybody on the internet was like cheering for him, like it was like a whole thing. But yeah, I ended up like quitting Bridgewater because I was like unhappy, and I was still playing poker at the time, and I was doing very well. Like I was kind of doing this like dumb strategy, but I was like making more than my weekly salary like at home at night coming back, and then I moved to Boston, and then I started playing on Full Tilt, and they made this like a new game, which was sort of like a spin-off on what I had been doing. It was like no limit, but you could only buy in for like you could buy in for anything, but you could only lose 30 big blinds in a hand. It was called Cap. It was called Cap No Limit. So I kind of was like sitting there, and I took some of the stuff I had learned by like kind of like exploiting these other games, and I was like thinking through the game and kind of doing some math and stuff, and I realized like very quickly that like this game's like solvable, and actually nobody's playing this right. So I was living at the time with one of my buddies who like ended up going on to found SeatGeek, which is like a big ticketing company, and our other buddy who was like a programmer who was working on his startup. So I paid him, like this is like 2008. I was like, Nick, I know how to beat this game. If you could write this program with all this stuff, I can just solve the whole game. And he's like, all right. So I like paid him some money, and he wrote me this program, and then I spent like 3 weeks just running this program, and I ran like every simulation possible. And like at the end of the 3 weeks, I was like, I know how to play this entire game, like, and nobody else knows how to play this game. And so for like the next like year, like I just played this game, and I was like 22, 23 at the time, and I was making like $2,000 an hour just
Holy
playing this
shit.
game from the spreadsheet, just like in my little apartment. And I taught my buddy and my brother and a bunch of other people how to do this. And like my buddy who like founded SeatGeek, like ended up just like that was like how he funded like the whole company, like
Wow.
because he was doing that part time, just like kind of using the strategy. So I did really well there, and then I ended up just kind of coming to San Diego on a whim. And that's where when I moved here, like I one day was just sitting in my house and I saw Phil Ivey sitting at one of these games, Phil Tilt. And for people who don't know, Phil Ivey is still probably like the
Best cash game player.
best poker player ever, probably still to this day, because like he's just so good. He plays like everything. And at the time, like Full Tilt Poker was this online site, and he was like one of the pros there. And they had this game that I played, Cap No Limit. But like he was Phil Ivey, so he was sitting at like the very biggest like stakes. It was like 500, 1,000 cap no limit. So like the minimum bet was like 1,000, and basically you could go all in for like $30,000 in a hand. He was just sitting there by himself, and nobody's playing him. And like one day I was just like, I'm gonna play this guy. But like I didn't have quite enough money in my account, so like some of the people who I had just met when I moved here, I was like, hey, can you like back like 30 or 40% of my bankroll, because I just did some quick math on this, and I was like, oh, I could just lose like $2 million in a night with like no problem. So I ended up like sitting down to play him one night, because like everybody was like at the time like, yeah, sure, whatever, here's like money, we were poker players, we knew each other. And so I sat down to play him, so I'm sitting there, Phil Ivey, I just moved to San Diego, and the very first hand I get dealt pocket kings, and I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck you, Phil Ivey. So like I've got like one hand I'm like fucking like this, like it's like so much money to me at the time, and like I open raise for like $2,000, and Phil Ivey raises to $6,000, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah. So I go all in for $30,000, and Phil Ivey snap calls aces.
Oh, oh no!
But then you rivered him.
So no, so I think he flopped an ace. So I was just immediately down like $30,000, and I was just like,
Trust in the program.
But like I kept playing, and then I won the next hand, and I won the next hand, and that first hand ended up being like the most I was ever down, and I think I went on to beat him for like $1.5 million or something. And then he quit,
shit.
and then like everybody was buying me drinks for a while here when I first moved here.
Hell yeah.
Which was super fun. And then they banned poker again, and I went to Thailand one day. I did a bunch of mushrooms at the full moon party, and then I decided to quit, and then moved on with my life. But it was
Did Phil Ivey ever recover?
I don't think Phil Ivey noticed. I don't think he noticed. I think Phil Ivey loses $1 million every other day, so probably didn't care. But to me, it was a lot.
That's so crazy.
I think I still like the Ray Dalio one better. I mean, taking $1.5 million off of Phil.
Sorry, hopefully that wasn't too long of a story. I kind of blacked out there.
Man of lore.
You're a man of lore. Okay.
What do you got, Mr. Bonnie?
I gotten a little company I was managing, got in a little public PR spat with Facebook that ended up on the front cover of the Wall Street Journal multiple times, on the printed front cover of the Wall Street Journal. A1.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was at a consulting firm that we started, and got this client. They had this browser plugin that you can install on your browser. You guys know this, but you can install on your browser, and the only thing it would let you do is to change your Facebook layout. Everyone remembers this from MySpace. So this developer thought, well, I'll allow people to do this for Facebook, but with a browser plugin. What he also figured out is that he could add ads in the Facebook newsfeed, because you're changing what Facebook looks like. So he throws in some like 300 by 250 banner ads in there, and they're kind of like going along. They see it's like profitable, and they weren't acquiring users. It was just like had a little virality coefficient to it. Anyway, get introduced to them. They're like, hey, can you help us grow this? And so I'm like, all right, well, let's try to figure out how much a user's worth. They're like, fuck it, just start spending. And I was like, no, I need to know like how much a user's worth. Figure it out. It's massively profitable. It's got a great virality coefficient. And I immediately started spending like $400,000 a month. And I think I'm like crushing it. The users are just like, the chart is just going up and to the right. And I get an email from the CFO. He's like, you're great. You're smart, but I need you to spend way fucking more than that. And if you don't, we're just going to find someone who can. And I was like, what? And I was like, I thought I was crushing this. So anyway, I took it as a challenge and just, we sent it. We started spending $4 or $5 million a month in user acquisition, and this company went from like small group of developers to like 250, 300 people, growing, tens and tens of millions of users. To one point, they asked me to not work at that consulting firm anymore and come on as like CEO of that group, and the founders would like start other companies. I was basically like a general manager of a business unit. So anyway, company keeps growing like crazy. I don't know how many exact, I forget the amount of daily active users, but it got so big enough that people were talking to their Facebook reps and calling their Facebook like ad reps saying, I want the big ads in the middle. And they were like,
What big ads?
What
we
big
don't
ads?
do those.
We don't do those. And they kept getting calls and calls. And then they were like, what the fuck's going on? And they soon enough figured out that like our browser plugin had grown large enough where it was like interfering with their business. And so the first route they took was to kind of reach out to us and be like, stop. And we're like, no, they're like, oh, you're adware. We were like, your software rendered in the browser that's ad supported. We're software that's rendered in the browser that's ad supported. Like, there's no different. So it's like, okay, they didn't like that. And then they went the PR route, and they went to the Wall Street Journal, and they were like, this company is stealing ad space from us, and people are buying it. And even like a lot of people are buying because it's really profitable. And so we talked to the Wall Street Journal, and the board is like, all right, Nick, we need to go on the offensive. Like they made it, so you need to go out there and like hold a press conference. And I'm like, fuck, I'm 24 years old at this time. Like I have no business being the CEO of this company. Like I was just happy guys, happy to be here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I don't know how to balance the balance sheet. Like, I don't know how to do most of the things there, but I'm like, okay. So like you need media training. And so for 3 straight days, I sat in a conference room with lights like this and a PR firm just grilling me. And they had the conference room table, the mic set up, and they're like, hey, Mashable's going to be there, TechCrunch's going to be there, Wall Street Journal's going to be there, and like you need to be able to handle like all these questions. So we train, go out to dinner the night before, and they're like, it's me and the board, and they're like, all right, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. Like, let's do this. Tomorrow's the day. And early morning, next morning, before we're about to do this press conference in front of all these journalists, legal counsel reaches out from Facebook, and they're like, we would like the principals to meet. And we're like, well, I wonder who the principals are on Facebook side. And it was Zuckerberg. And so he wanted like, I don't know what he wanted to do. So anyway, we have this battle of the Wall Street Journal, and this eventually leads to how I became an entrepreneur. So we go back to it's like 9 p.m. We all go back to the office, and we're like, okay, what do we do? And we meet, and we're talking like, okay, we're going to meet with them. We're not going to do the press conference. We're going to meet with them, see what's up. And so it's the board, which is the actual owners of the company, and me, the CEO. And it comes down to like, okay, well, who's flying up to Silicon Valley tomorrow morning? And they were like, at one point, they were like, well, we're going to go. And I was like, well, why am I not in this room? And that was like the first light switch. I was like, oh shit, I'm not an owner. I'm CEO. Like I'm cool running the company, but like, I'm actually not an owner. I don't own any equity. They paid me a lot. And that was the moment I like went back to my office, and I was fucking fuming. I was like, so you were going to let me go up and do this whole PR battle and represent in like kind of a risky situation career-wise for like a young 20-year-old, but also just for the whole company. And then I was like, oh shit. And I was like just fuming there for hours. And my buddy, Daniel, who you guys all know, happens to walk in. He's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And we were late at the office. This is like 11 p.m. midnight. And I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, I got all the users. Like I could do this again. And he's like, okay, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you feel the same way, we'll do it. But you come see me in the office and we'll team up and do it. And I woke up next morning. I was still fired up. I was like, I walk in his office, like, yeah, I'm in. And then, then we started off and started a competing company. And
you two broke off.
Yeah, we two broke off and started a competing company. But that was like, I needed that moment to realize that like, it doesn't matter what your title is or how much salary they pay you. Like, if you really want to shift over from labor to capital, like you need to get that push to be like, oh, I have to take risk myself. I have to like own the equity. And it was a good learning moment. in my early 20s that like, kind of like put me on a whole different trajectory. But yeah, anyway, I actually just found the 2 Wall Street Journal articles while I was like looking on my phone, and they're quite funny looking back at them now.
Is your photo in it?
No photos. No photos. Thank
Oh
God.
my God.
Thank God.
Yeah,
But I still have the printed versions in the house, because I was like, yeah, why not keep a few of
Dude,
these?
that's a lot.
That's
for
amazing
24.
lore.
Yeah, it was
That's a lot.
it was
Oh my
fun.
God, I learned something.
We all did. This is amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know
Oh,
it
it's
is.
so good. So did they? What ended up happening? Did Zuck just like kind of buy them out?
No, he was
Or-
like, so we don't like this, and we're like, well, this is like 50% of our revenue, and we're like, users want it. Like the users are deciding that they want it, and they're like, well, if you don't go any further, we're going to pursue legal challenges. And we're like, go ahead. Like we're software run to the browser. The users chose to install. So we go back, and what they did was, this is the first time they ever did this. So if you logged in to go to Facebook site and you had our software installed, they wouldn't let you log in. They'd be like, please uninstall this program to do it. And we were like, huh, that's funny. That's just code. So we were like, well, we can uncode that. We're in the browser. So we were like, I'm like, hey, let's just like take the script that puts this pop up there and fucking delete it. And so we delete it, and we're like, back on. And so this starts off like a fucking war. And so what we do is we set up a network operations center, and there's like 20 screens, and it's literally like uninstalls, installs from this like program, and we can see the leaderboard. And we created 24-hour shifts of developers. So there was like 3 8-hour shifts, because they were deploying fixes nonstop. And they could see our code, we could see theirs, and we would just trigger this off. And like at one point, I'm like there at like 2 a.m. and we're doing another fix, and the developer writes in the dev comments, he's like, Facebook developers make love, not war, or something like that. And the developers started communicating to each other in the dev notes. And yeah, anyway, it continued on for a while, and then I was like telling the board, I'm like, guys, like how long we could do this? We could do this forever, but like it's kind of, we need a sustainable solution. And then they pulled the lawsuit, and they went to battle. But during the lawsuit, the judge okayed an injunction on the ads, and that started like somewhat of a downfall. Like we had enough revenue to go off other ads that we were showing, and but what the board didn't tell me was that they had a massive line of credit, and there was like 12 covenants in the line of credit. I never knew about the line of credit that they were like using to funnel money in the company. And yeah, they like willingly accepted the injunction, knowing it would rug pull like $4 million, $10 million of cash out of the company instantly. So anyway, we had to go and lay off like 60% of the company. And I had to go do my part and go take 120 people at the same time and tell them they were all laid off. But then me and my business partner used that as the opportunity. I was like, well, now's time better than
Pull
other.
the rock stars aside.
I was like, why don't we put our names in the hat and just say we don't wish to continue? And at the time, it worked out great, because they were championing us as heroes. There's like, it's good you let us know now, not later, because you're putting your name in the hat ring, save 4 people's jobs, because the salary difference or whatever. And so we had this like good-hearted feel. And meanwhile, we went into the dungeon and just started coding. And it was great, because we got to lay off the developer that we wanted to hire. Mm-hmm. And so we took everyone to the bar later, and I grabbed the developer. I'm like, hey, come outside and talk to me, man. I was like, hey, you got any plans? Like, what you're going to do next? He's like, no, man. I don't know. I'm just going to coast for a while. I might go surfing. And I'm like, well, what do you think about like doing a little project? Might turn into a real company, but we're going to go build the same thing. And like, so anyway, it allowed us to like lay off the dev that we wanted, and he had the lowest personal burn rate, so we knew it could actually afford him as a developer. Anyway, so that's what ended up happening, and all these like fortuitous things led to like being able to launch. So Facebook won in the end, but
The battle.
the battle.
I think you won.
Yeah.
I think you won.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well played. Damn, I didn't know you went toe to toe with Zuck.
Yeah.
That's your origin story? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good origin story. Damn. Holding out on me.
Sucks
This
probably
whole
the
time.
top 3 richest people in the world. So.
Well, we all win in our own little ways.
I love it.
All right, guys, that was fun sharing some lore. Let's kick it off in the Discord. Share some lore on the Discord.
I like that.
We wanna hear.
That'd be a good convo in there.
Yeah.
Go to the lounge. Share your lore.
Yeah, share your lore. I want to hear everybody's
I
lore.
hear everybody's lore.
We-
It's a
we-
pretty high bar to meet there, but we still want to hear
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone can do better than a mustache. Mine was.
I think being the first ever Lyft
Yeah,
driver is
right,
pretty
that's
cool.
epic.
I'm sitting, I'm blown away by your guys' lore. I'm like, I had a pink mustache on a car.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like you should have probably gotten
No,
some
it is.
equity or something as well, but you know.
You know, I have actually nudged them on that back in the day. No, I used to joke. I'm like, can I get like a plaque, a trophy,
Can I
like
get a mustache?
something? Can I- memorabilia?
Yeah.
That should
Yeah,
be some
I
of
would
our.
love to
That
hear
should be our
people's
a
lore.
piece of merch. It should be like first Lyft rider, and it's
Just
be
a
your
pink
face.
mustache.
Rock it. I would rock it.
It's Armand with like
chain.
somebody make Armand AI with like just like a pink Lyft mustache.
I like
just-
that. You saw them, right? They were huge.
Yeah, I forgot they existed until you brought it up.
Yeah,
But they were amazing. I loved the mustache. It was a brilliant piece
was
of
very
marketing. You
controversial.
could just see it like all over the place. You'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's a lift. That's a lift. That's a lift."
Yeah.
It was great.
This was good, guys.
What's
Yeah.
Very fun.
Fun times. Thanks for everyone for joining the chat. We'll be back next week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. PST on YouTube. If you haven't liked the video already, like it. I mean, you stuck around this long. Least you could do. And yeah, if you like this episode, share it with everyone. If you don't like it, you got some comments for us.
By the way,
HC
meme coin. By the way, HC meme coin.
Not financial advice.
Not
Steve.
financial advice,
Okay.
but you know.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you later.
Adios.
Peace.